for it to be 7 o'clock. Yeah, we're changing things up, guys.
We late.
What's going on, everybody? Cali Death Podcast, episode 143. Am I correct?
Yes.
The flyer just popped up right in front of my face, and I
You
still
fixed it? Did you fix the flyer?
What do you mean?
Oh,
fixed?
was it?
Was that for this episode? You said like it was the wrong. Whatever. Sorry.
That was last.
No,
We're all good.
We are all good, and
Wonderful.
I am all good. I'm your host tonight, as always. Why am I saying tonight? Anthony Traffany here with you guys. I'm joined by the resident homies. Got Banana Man Joel Horner, got the Professor Joseph K with me, and we're gonna be seeing Casey later. I know I say that about Joel, and he didn't show up after.
No, because I call out real quick. Carrie Gear took me to a bar, and then I got because it's just a bro night. You know, it was me, James, Carrie, Trevor, and we just ended up going like, you know what, fuck it, I'm not gonna go. It was like a fucking mess, and I tuned in. You guys were being all chill. And I was like, that would be a nightmare if I just showed up. It was like a
You would have been a nightmare.
Tasmanian devil on here, so I decided not to do it.
No, you would have been a welcomed nightmare though. Still at the same time, like if you showed up, why would I be like, oh, dude, I don't like this energy. But yeah, dude, thanks for why am I thanking you?
Thanks for showing up.
I'm stoked that you're back on, and we're gonna have Casey later. All right. Tonight we're joined by, I didn't ask your last name, Haddad, or is that how you pronounce it? Haddad, Alex Haddad from Atheist, Arkaik fame. And I just saw you recently with Atheist, and I want to get into all that. And let's get into the plugs real quick. Let's just roll right into it, dude. Battleforgecoffee.com, the homies in Deeds of Flesh, still selling us great coffee, great merchandise. Please go support those guys. We don't get any money from this. We're literally just saying, dude, it's good stuff, and we use it daily, or at least weekly.
Oh yeah,
I wear a shirt once a week, maybe. That's why I was thinking about my shirt right now, not the coffee. Drink the coffee every day. CaliDeathPodcast.BigCartel.com. Get yourself some swag with the Cali Death logo or some other full color alien podcaster out in the, it looks like he's in the ocean. Like if you look at that picture, I think he's like just sitting in the ocean, and you're seeing the shoreline in the background. What do you guys feel like? That dude who's on that shirt, where is he really located when you see the background?
I've never given it a shot. I just thought it was
Look
like some
in the background, dude. It's
demonic studio.
I can
background's got palm trees. It's got California buildings. It's got.
He's gonna grab one right now because I feel like
there's some detail involved in that.
I just saw I see the microphone and the face, and then there's red behind it. That's all I know. But
look what's behind, dude.
Oh shit! There's like a city behind it.
Yeah.
So there is ocean behind it.
So I told Triple Sace, like, get some of the features of California, like the LA skyline, palm trees, and all that.
Is that a baby?
I think it's supposed to be LA.
Is that what, Alex?
Is that like a baby
LA
in the middle?
A baby what? Sorry.
Sorry, I was cutting you off. My bad.
It's baby what?
It's an unimportant question, but is that a baby head in the middle, like a baby's head?
No, it's not a baby. We call him a zombie, but it's just it's an evil. It's like a
psychedelic zombie.
A death metal podcaster, basically.
No, that's a sick design. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Either way, it's a sick design. Triple Sace, shout out.
Mm-hmm.
GeneratorRehearsalStudios.com. That's rehearsal studio down in SoCal that you can get your space and get your jam on.
Hell yeah.
Hit that up. And then let's move on. Do we have any other shows or anything?
Shows?
Yeah, actually. I'm gonna plug my show next Friday. Dreamer playing with Cyborg Octopus, Callius, and the Arson Choir at Program Skate Shop in Fullerton, California. Friday night show, come out. Callius's CD release and Dreamer's second ever live show. We're flying Chris Davis back out. He moved to Ohio. We're flying him back just to play a show with him, and it should be a really good time. Just prog metal, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And then 2 or 3 weeks after that, it's a sold out show, so can't tell you to come. But playing Europe for the first time, so excited for that. So.
Yeah.
Congrats.
That deserves a plug, even though it's sold out. You got to represent like OG, or you're going international, bro. Our fucking professor's going international, bro.
And I'm getting to go visit my family afterwards, so making the most of the trip. It's gonna be fun. But yeah, no, this has been a great fucking summer. I got to play shows with every project, or will get to. So round it out, I guess, and moving to Santa Cruz for the fall and hanging out with you two guys, hopefully.
Yeah, dude. Dude, when I heard you were going to be coming up here, I definitely will be making more Santa Cruz trips.
Hell yeah. Like that Behemoth show that just got announced.
Imperial Triumphant, dude, at the Catalyst. What the fuck is going to go down? I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to drive down there and back that night just to...
We should ask them to put a little Cali Death podcast on the bottom of the flyer for that show.
Good, dude.
Just like the other shows we do. So
Trevor said he saw Imperial Triumphant here in Santa Cruz for 8 people once.
Damn.
That's amazing, dude.
I know.
Not very triumphant.
The drummer, I would like to talk to all those guys, but the drummer Kenny, I've really, really have been thinking of for a long time wanting to talk to him, dude, because I've seen him in other interviews and just his style is just amazing to me. I'd love to talk to that dude. So maybe we can work that out, that show.
I think we know some people that know him. So
yeah, we do. It's weird to be like, hey dude, can you give me contacts to this other dude?
Yeah.
So Alex, are you so what do you plug in? I mean, obviously the new Arkaik album came a year ago, but as far as you're like, dude, your band, what's your band called again? I listened to a bunch of it today.
Dessiderium.
I was gonna say plug section still, dude. Plug away, Alex, wherever you want people to go.
So sick. I listened to it. I'm gonna plug a forum for a second. Like I listened to it just now. Like I listened probably an hour of it and was just like, I mean, you've been posting videos of you playing, but even before we even really formally met, I met you once in Reno when me and Carrie Gear were blacked out and we went into right before you left for tour, and we were like knocking over your merch and shit and just being obnoxious. And then Jared's wedding and stuff, we got more acquainted and stuff. But you always were posting videos and stuff, and I would like go to Jared and be like, "Fuck you! Where did you find this guy? This guy's like ridiculous at guitar, like one of the better shredders we've had on the podcast." But no, man, it was
better shredder, dude.
But you do everything in that band now. You do. It says I went to Encyclopedia Balaam or whatever. And they said that you it's just all everything, and it just said for like instruments, it's just all everything. And I was like, damn.
Yeah, it's been a solo project like since I was 12, so been doing it forever. Since 2020, Brody Smith, I met him. He's a drummer. I met him through Equipoise. He was playing with them. He plays in another band called Seder. That's like his own band, but he's been helping me program the drums ever since. But other than that, it's totally a solo thing.
Are you never planning on playing that stuff live, or
we played live?
You already have.
Like we did like 4 shows, and then I had a local lineup for a little bit, and we did a few local shows. But that's something I want to get more serious with. Like I keep saying next year, but seriously, like 2024, I'll try to get it on the road more. Yeah,
hell yeah.
Well, let me dig into that. So I played a show in Phoenix with Ominous Ruin, and it was Dessiderium's first ever show. First ever, I don't know. I think you guys had like played a long time ago.
In high school, I played 3 shows. But
okay, so not first ever, liar. But anyway, at the time it was advertised a lot. But anyway, But I'll just say that the whole tour package was, us guys, Atheist and Hallucinus were like, oh, dude, Dessiderium, that's gonna be a sick show. I think it was like a Monday or a Tuesday. So
it was that one. Yeah, I was thinking of a different That's right. That's right. That's where I met Aaron from Atheist. He was playing drums with them, and then he came and he played for us with like a 4-day West Coast thing.
With
Yeah,
Shout out, Aaron.
Tomarum, right? Or
yeah,
Tomarum?
exactly. Yep.
Yeah. So I didn't catch that little run, but a bunch of my bandmates caught you guys in LA. Did you guys play Knucklehead?
Yeah.
In Los Angeles? Yeah. So they
Yeah,
all
we
went
did.
and saw you guys, and
Nice.
yeah, and been a cool to follow the Des live experience, you know, from the first show. And I got a shirt. I'm gonna go find it in my closet during a break here.
Cool.
I will rep that shit.
Yeah, Knucklehead. That
yeah.
was a fun night.
But we were all just like, how is he gonna pull this off live? Like, this material is like, your
Crazy.
shortest song is like 10 minutes. So I was like, how is he gonna do it?
You just don't pull it off.
Just don't pull it off.
Just doesn't sound as good, but you know, yeah.
No, it was sick, dude, and we were all impressed. So anyway, yeah,
Thank
I mean, you're killing it, holding it down for the legacy acts, the modern kind of established acts, and you're, you know, building up your own thing. So
yeah, you're like
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're
hitting all the buckets.
Both of it, you know, it's like at metal in general. I mean, we've all experienced it, and Joel and I experienced how hard it is to find talented musicians, you know, and so the incestuous aspects of the music happens in your local areas, you know, and then but the internet opened it up to where it's like now people are more available. So now you got guys like you, which, how old are you?
28.
Alex? 28. So you're still in your freaking prime, dude. And that I think that people like you, along with everything else, is what keeps metal alive. And because live music is so important, no matter what kind of genre it is, but it is harder for death metal to produce a live performance, especially playing at the levels that we're playing. So it's guys like you that makes these things possible. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wouldn't be possible if there weren't these guys who are kind of sitting in between both realms of death metal that we're talking about, the legacy and the modern. Like, you kind of float in this purgatory where you can actually adapt to both sides of it, and keeping both like ends of it alive. Like, I mean, if you want to call it a bubble, the borders of things need to be really strong. You know, so we got the legacy and we got the modern together, and you're kind of on the forefront of both of that. That's really fucking cool, dude.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's funny because it's like I think I got into metal with, I mean, I'm not a 90s kid, you know, I grew up in the early 2000s, but my connection to metal was always like 80s, 90s stuff. So I'm definitely influenced by like the, you know, the older stuff, I guess.
So let's talk about that a little bit. Let's figure out how that happened. Obviously, you watched the show enough. Let's go back, dude. Take us back. Joseph's gonna go look for that shirt while we're going into your childhood right now.
Whip it out. Cool.
But yeah, dude, take us, throw us in the DeLorean. I like that. I probably said that how many fucking times, but I like
probably 46.
The DeLorean's the coolest time machine, though. If you really think about it.
When it works.
If I want to get in the time machine, I want Alex to be the driver of a DeLorean. You know?
No problem. Yeah. Where do you want me to go with this DeLorean?
Okay.
Just go now. Go.
No.
Like
how you okay. It used to be the earliest music you listened to, but now it's just, for me, I want to know when you figured out you were creative, like the earliest like you wanted to, like, or you like noticed creativity, like something that influenced you to be creative, whether it be art or music or anything.
I guess, man, as far as like when I felt like I was creative, that would go back to when I was like 5 or 6.
Perfect.
Because I had a next door neighbor who was my same age, and we would just like build stuff. We had a whole list of like machines and stuff. So nothing musical, but
no, that's fine, dude. So like, what kind of machine?
That's how we spent time. Just stupid shit. I mean, he had like a little jungle gym in the backyard, and I remember one day he's like, "Oh, it's so hot, we could probably bake a cake on it." So we like tried to bake a cake, and it didn't work out.
Dude, I had blueprints that I drew out of a pedal car that I would. It was like an 8-passenger pedal car that I was going to use all of my cousins' pedaling powers to where I was the driver, and I had the whole thing where it was going to be built out of wood, and it was going to come over, you know, like those. That it never was possible, but
yeah,
you know, you
just
have
the idea
those
that's
ideas,
exciting.
and you want to get them out, you know. So
exactly.
Cool. So you're doing that with what a neighbor, you said?
My next door neighbor growing up, dude.
Dude,
my
next
day
door
one,
neighbor,
Brendan.
What was your age difference?
No, we're the same grade, dude.
Yeah, see, that's perfect. Right next door, you got somebody who's going through the same things at the same time.
Yeah, so we're a bunch of weird, creative kids, I guess.
What was the what was the thing that you and him, or is it him? Sorry, I didn't even ask.
Yep.
What was the thing that was like the most promising for you at that time? Like, this can actually happen, dude.
Nothing special, but we like sold. we collected rocks and like cleaned them and sold them. So
hey, dude.
Oh, did you polish them? Did you do the old polishing?
Dude.
The rock polishers back in the day.
Selling
like that was
really
like
nice.
there we go. There we go.
Oh hell yeah, dude! Nice.
Sick, yes. Dude. Your mic sounds even better.
Your mic's not working now, though. You hit a button on the way out. You forgot to unmute yourself.
Sorry to interrupt again, but it had fallen like off the shirt holder and into the crevices of the lower closet, and I found it. So I gotta admit, it's not in my starting lineup, but you know, busting it out.
That's the basic logo tee. Yep.
Cool, yep.
To violently vomit being repped twice on the show right now too, in the background of you.
That's just sick.
Nice.
Joseph is definitely the king of black with white logos right now. Look at all those black and white logos.
Hell yeah. Also, it's my birthday in like 4 hours. So
yeah, dude.
I'm gonna.
We should have called this.
Oh Jesus, that's a 10. That's like 11%, isn't it? Or 9?
Yeah.
Or
no, organizers.
What can you read that? 9.7%.
Or 9.7.
Yeah, he's going big, dude.
I gotta celebrate with you.
I confirmed that my wife.
I know we should have called this the semi-professor birthday episode. It didn't fall proper. Mine's fallen proper this year. Isn't that crazy?
Dude, I know mine was a couple weeks ago, and I had COVID, and I found out later after the engagement party. Anyways, do you want?
Sorry.
Sorry.
Anyway,
what are we doing?
No. I had something funny to say, but those are very powerful. Good luck. Cheers, man. Happy fucking 32nd.
Yes.
Did I get it?
Happy birthday, man.
I'm 33, but you can celebrate my 32nd.
You take the 32nd. You're still 32 right now.
I know it was 30 something, but it wasn't a high 30, so I knew that. Anyways,
shout out Ricky.
Oh, yeah. So we were getting into Alex's
creativity, pancakes on slides,
feeling the creativity through like imagining machines and shit with next door neighbors. That's fucking rad, dude.
This era is kind of rough, yeah. So once I got into like music, that was like Guitar Hero. That was the first time I cared about guitar at all.
That's fine. So I want you to be a little bit more vulnerable and not care about what your past is all about, dude. Like what you truly connected with is what I really want to know, dude. So Guitar Hero is not anything that I would judge you on. Like any way that is opening of a portal of some sort to any child to just expand on and fall down a rabbit hole of sorts. Like, I don't give a shit what it is, dude.
For sure.
That is the exact seed that became Alex Haddad today, you know?
Yeah, so, the seed was definitely Guitar Hero. That like changed my whole life.
What year was that? So it was Guitar Hero, because I probably was keen on like the first one. I don't really remember.
This was Probably like 2006. It was Guitar Hero 2.
Oh shit. Okay. So
Yeah.
that's fairly new with Guitar Hero, right?
They did a bunch after. So this was Guitar Hero 2, and then
okay.
They did 3, then 4, then they did a bunch of spin-offs, and I lost track. But 2 and 3 were the big ones for me.
Did you get good at it?
I got really good. Yeah.
Really
so
good.
I was I was going to tournaments and stuff. And
oh shit.
That's where I got the inspiration to play a real instrument, because I was at a tournament that my mom like drove me to, like 6 hours away. And I was in the finals with like a dude in college, and I was like 11. But one of the guy's friends was like talking to my mom, and he's like, you got to get that kid to play a real instrument. Like, you can tell he's really disciplined with this game. So, shortly after that, I actually, my mom got me a bass, and then that kind of started everything.
What was the song that you're like, I could do this shit in my sleep 100% every time I play it?
Was it Dragon Force?
No, that's hard as fuck. That's insane. Still. Yeah. I used to play like Number of the Beast without looking at the TV to like be cool at 7th grade parties.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you would master the patterns, though the patterns would be completely
they're always
muscle memory. Yeah.
It's like learning a song. Exactly.
That's perfect. That's a perfect, actually. I mean, just as far as like getting into an instrument and stuff, like the muscle memory and like just because like as you play guitar nowadays, you probably can play whole songs and not look at the fretboard and stuff, and that's a good starter or precursor of that.
Yeah, at the time, people would always talk about like guys who actually play guitar would be like, this stupid game, like it's nothing like the real guitar. But it's obviously different, but there's a lot of similarities there.
And you had probably your finger dexterity already just going until you get to
just getting used to certain patterns, like first finger, second finger, fourth finger. Do that really fast, different interval shapes. Mm.
Well, hold on. I want to hear more about this tournament. You drove 6 hours.
Yeah.
Did you win the tournament?
I won that one. Yeah.
So you beat the college kid?
Oh, shit.
I bet he felt really good about losing to an 11-year-old.
I remember it very clearly, because he played on a mode called hyperspeed, where the notes come at you like extra fast. So there's like more spacing in between them. And there's like a big controversy in the finals where he was talking to the judge, and he's like, let's play on hyperspeed. And I was like, dude, I don't even know what that is, So
yeah,
that was his excuse for losing, but he was good. Yeah, that shit was like my
not
life.
Good enough.
Not good enough, brother. Yeah. Not quite.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so how many of those? Oh, sorry.
Money? Was there money in these tournaments? Like,
that one wasn't a money match, but there was I got like a vibrating immersive game chair signed by the people at Insomniac, or not Insomniac, whoever made Guitar Hero 2.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. There's a bunch of like gift cards.
How much would one of those chairs go for at that time?
Probably like $200, $250 or something.
All right.
Yeah, it was pretty sick.
That's sick.
But there's
you almost pay for gas if you sell it.
Yeah. No, I held on to it. I liked it. So
at that age, you're like, dude, this is my trophy right here. I'm sitting in my trophy.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
It was cool.
That's crazy. I mean, being put in that so how many people were in the competition? Was it like a super? Did it get you ready for like getting in that high pressure situation of playing like in front of people or competing with people? Was the stage like conversion pretty easy, or?
Yeah, in hindsight, it was funny that we drove so far for that, because like there's probably 20 people there, so it's just like a small game store. I did others that were like bigger, that were closer to my hometown, but at the time I was just like, man, I really want to do a tournament. And,
was there like a Super Bowl of that, like the competition for that? Is that still? Because I know people on Twitch are still doing that. Yeah, people are still now it's Rocksmith now. People are just doing like you plug your guitar in.
I mean, there's a big following, not a big following. There's like a cult following for Guitar Hero. It's called, I think, Clone Hero, where people can just take any song and make a chart for it. And
that's sick.
People have gotten so good, it's like frightening. It's just a whole different thing.
Reminds me of there was like the bootleg Frets on Fire.
Frets on Fire.
I remember that.
There was an Odious guy, a guy who did an Odious video. I don't know if it might still be on YouTube right now.
I think it is.
You might be able to find it.
I haven't thought about it for a while. Yeah.
But there was a decrepit rock band.
Yeah,
when I was in the band. Yeah, it was I think the Resonance made it to Rock Band, and we were on tour, and like Nuclear Blast called, like, you guys are on Rock Band now. Like, all right. can I get like $9? He's like, oh, you guys mind?
Or at least
yeah.
a free copy of the game or something.
Well, yeah, I mean, I brought it up before recently too. It's funny if you watch that, if you look up Rush playing guitar here or Rock Band, to their own song. It's like Neil Peart on the little drums.
Yeah, dude,
bass,
didn't
and
I
like,
just recently send that to you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I posted it like years ago because it's funny because they're like trying it. They're like, fuck. I mean, they get it. They end up picking up on it, but they're just like, what?
It's the first time you see
them.
Neil Peart smiling while he's playing.
Yeah. Because it's a funny just to watch like the old classic rocker like prog
I've been
guys.
hearing people say Peart. Are we saying it wrong? Is it Peart or Peart?
It's Peart. But I say Neil Peart because it's easier. It's Peart. Yeah, for sure. Neil Peart. Yeah, and that's how you actually pronounce it. Chad. What's his name? Ian. Peart. He says Peart.
Peart. Yeah, he's
Peart.
saying
Peart.
Yeah.
Never knew that.
Like Peart.
That's just one of those. Peart.
I shouldn't say. Why did I say that? I feel like I fucking.
That's actually. I mean, fuck, man. That's a cool way to get kids and stuff. I mean, not saying you're a kid, but nowadays, like video games are cool. You're into video games. It's like, oh, let's all do it with our friends and stuff, and like jam out and stuff, and get that kind of feel to it. So, what was so you got a bass? You said first.
Yeah, I played bass first. Yeah.
Did you jam with yourself?
What's your age when you got your first real instrument?
Probably, I think I was 11. Yeah, it was like right after doing those tournaments.
Right after that tournament.
Yeah. My sister played. She played the stand-up bass in an orchestra.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
So the obvious choice for me was like, oh, I'll play guitar. And
were your parents musical at all? Did they play anything?
My mom played piano. She still knows a bit. So
nice. Okay.
Yeah, she was pretty good at the piano. Very good actually. And then my sister played bass, and she was like, everyone plays the guitar. That's boring. Play the bass. So I picked up the bass because of that.
Nice.
I've made the statement many times, like as I get older, bass is becoming way, way more important to me than it used to be.
Still my favorite instrument by far. Yeah.
Yeah. I pay attention so much more to the bass and any type of music that I listen to now, and it's become such an important role in everything that I listen to now.
Yeah, it's huge.
Bass is kind of like how you hear people describe golf. It's like, yeah, anyone can really play it like at a basic level, but it's like a lifetime to master kind of instrument. Whereas like, you could play like Green Day with a pick and you can do like stuff like that, but like get the feel down and fucking Ricky. You can get the feel down and stuff when you get like this other level, even if there's not a million notes, just a feel to it. You just see them and you're like, oh, all right, well, you've spent 40 years. Like, I can tell people like right away, just a groove that they get, and you're just like, fuck. All right.
Groove. I mean, the bass can totally paint the song too. Like feel like Iron Maiden, just their formula of the guitar repeating a harmony, and then every time Steve Harris changes what root note he's on, it colors the whole thing as like a different chord. That was
definitely. And there's a lot of songs too where the bass kind of sneaks in as like a melodic instrument where you don't even really recognize it. And
dude,
exactly,
totally. And just the rhythm section alone, I've learned that like music is translated differently through those people by feel versus sound. Like feel is like that's what I think why I've been driven to the rhythm section so much lately, is realizing that they're speaking through feel versus auditory necessarily. I mean, it is auditory, but I'm just saying like there's some other element of like full feel that's put into it differently for me. I don't know.
Go ahead.
I was teaching I've been teaching a lot of bass at the school lately, and I get new kids who like they just are given bass and they're guitar students, and then they're like, oh yeah, I'll just play it like guitar. And then I'm like, no, like there's so much in articulation on bass that matters, that colors the sound. And then I tell them like, you got to listen to all the different styles. And like, we're doing Summer of Soul at the School of Rock, so it's a lot of soul music, but I'm like, no, like listen to Sublime if you want to hear like bass driven music that's like very accessible for high schoolers or whatever.
Sure.
And then, yeah, of course, there's other ways to go. But like, I was listening to this, and I like these kids play, and I'm just like, you don't have it, man. Like, it's not just a guitar. And then I was actually really having to break down, like thinking for myself the first time, like, how do you generate the notes? And a lot of it is articulation, just the way that the strings strike across the fingers strike across the strings. And I don't know.
That's a good point with Sublime, because I remember we randomly, this is the most random show we've ever played, but we Eagles Ballroom. What do you guys play in Milwaukee? Yeah. So we played there, and it was Vader, Decrepit Birth, like Augury, and then the headliner was Slightly Stupid. and
No way.
But Slightly Stupid was in the big room, because there's like a million stages there. So they were playing the big room, and like I remember I'm gonna go check them out, even though like Santa Cruz, I probably should have seen them 1,000 times. That's like the biggest style of music here. But I remember just watching him. It's 3,000 people. It's like a huge room, and I remember just listening to the bass player going like, "That's a nightmare to me." Like what he's doing is it's like he is the loudest instrument by far, and if he were to like be a little bit off, the groove would be gone. And it would just wouldn't work, it wouldn't work.
You are the
relies
lead
on that.
as the
well, for
bass
that
player.
style of music, like it's just like
100%.
like you got to like be on it. Like if you're a little bit late or a little bit early, like it will just ruin it. And I would just be like in my head if it's going that slow, that I'd be like fuck shit.
If you watch live performances of Sublime, Bradley Knoll is a mess the whole time. Like that dude.
Yeah.
I have never seen more fuck ups by a professional artist than Bradley Knoll, but his rhythm section never stops. They hold it
Shout
down.
out
What
Kelly.
up, Kelly?
Big Chief.
What up, dude? Alex is Alex. We got your boy Alex on right now, dude.
Yes, sir.
But dude, that's totally it, dude. It's like the bass player and the drummer of Sublime is what makes every Sublime show just as cool, because Bradley can just fucking could at that time just let loose and be himself.
Kind of like the soul, the soul of it. Like it's kind of this free ranging soul. And then like
shout out
the backbone is fucking. Let's shout out Mike Gilbert.
Shout out Mike Gilbert.
And marijuana.
Bring me a little whiskey, a little weed. That's what's up, dude. Again, the hospitality when I come here, dude.
And I'll just say at this point, if I like the coolest death metal playthroughs are the bass playthroughs. Like I obviously love watching drums, guitar playthroughs. I mean,
I love those. So fuck off.
Come on,
Mike, I got your back, Mike.
If you want to hear the guitar, just listen to the song. Like the bass playthrough is where you get the actual stuff.
I get what you're saying. Yeah. Because if you watch a bass playthrough, it's like, oh, they're doing all that.
Yeah, exactly. So I love bass playthroughs still, especially like tech death, like crazy over the top. So
I kind of want to see like what new. I mean, with the tech death ones you're talking about, like how interesting they are. I always see like in the more extreme bands, like there's a new technique or there's something that they like throw in there that I haven't seen before, or like how they get that fast, or how that because guitar players we just have to like twitch and we're like, all right, we can do that. But the bass players, like speeds, it's like a crossroads. Like how are you going to get there? Are you going to do 3 instead of 4? What do you like? Are you going to how are you going to actually?
You just play in Sublime and you smoke a cigar while you're playing. I mean, that's what he did, right? He'd smoke a whole cigar during the set. All right, enough about Sublime. I love Sublime. I'm Cali, dude.
Shout out Sublime.
I wear shorts and sandals, dude.
Shout out Rome with Sublime or whatever they're.
And he actually holds it down.
I don't know. I just see the name and I'm just like, okay, well, they're playing a casino again. Well,
it's that rhythm section where we were talking about with a new guy, and they actually still hold it down.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, so you got your first instrument. It was a bass. You started Dessiderium at age 12. You mentioned earlier.
Yeah, somewhere around that. Yeah.
So how was it starting a band at that age? What were you thinking about? Did you think, oh yeah, when I'm 28, I'll take it on the road?
No, at that point I was just writing music and it didn't have a name. So it was like that for, I don't know. I finally got like a lineup when I was 16 with some other guys that I played in another band with. So at that point, that's when I like got the name, and it's like, okay, maybe we can play shows. And like I was always organizing my songs into albums just because it was fun. You know,
I gotta hit the rewind button, dude, because we just talked about 11 and then 15. There's other bands in there and stuff. So let's go really quick through how you progressed to get to the point where you wanted to play with other humans. You know, so you got the bass,
sure.
and how long did you play bass before you decided you want to get the 6-string?
Yeah, I played bass for probably like 2 years. I learned from a really cool guy named Mike Bear. He got.
Did you play in any bands as a bass player?
Not at that time. Not till much later. I would play in one band as a bass player.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I played bass for a couple of years, and during those years, I was getting much deeper down like the metal rabbit hole, going from like thrash metal to Swedish and Finnish.
See, that's another thing
metal
too that we usually like to talk about, like your introduction to metal or just music in general. Like, tell us about, you know, the first time you heard more extreme stuff than you were being fed on the radio, you know?
For sure. Yeah. So from Guitar Hero, I would say I discovered thrash metal. It's like the big four, you know, Anthrax and Megadeth first, and then Metallica and Slayer. So those were all huge for me. And then like a year after playing the bass, that's when I started getting exposed to like Children of Bodom and In Flames, Cannibal Corpse, just a lot of popular death metal bands, you know. And then I got really down the whole rabbit hole of like different Finnish and Swedish and Norwegian bands, and that kind of got me obsessed.
Yeah. So you're obsessed in the bedroom listening to that, and then your first decision to play with other humans, like what was your intentions? Did you join something that was already going down, or did you build something from? Okay,
I had like another friend who was getting into metal at the same time, and we were like at the same place in the rabbit hole, discovering the same bands. So me and him really wanted to start a band, and we just couldn't find anyone. I was posting on Craigslist for years, like since I was 12.
Same high school.
Yeah, I couldn't find anyone.
Wait, did you grow up in Phoenix area, like Arizona?
No, Southern California.
Oh,
what part?
Here?
Thousand Oaks, if you know that city.
Oh, for sure.
Conejo Valley.
Gotcha.
Crazy.
Yeah. So not a very like city like area. So not a lot of metal people to choose from.
Right.
But just through Facebook, we found some other like kids from Simi Valley. That was like a town neighboring us. And yeah, my friend just like hit them up, cold call, and just like started talking to them. And eventually that was like the first band that I played in, was with these guys.
What was that called?
What was it called? Manipulated Destiny, I think.
Hell yeah.
Manipulated? Oh, okay.
Yeah. We didn't
Sounds
play
like
any
a
shows.
death song or something.
That's where it came from. Yeah.
Okay.
That's where the name came from.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was actually really cool stuff. We could never find a vocalist, so it never like came to fruition, like playing shows or anything. But because I was playing with them, then other guys in that area started to like hear about me. So then I joined another band that was playing shows called Chains of Atlas, more like power metal, thrashy stuff. And that was like my first official band, you know, playing shows and writing music and recording and stuff.
And that's 16 still?
I was like, for Chains of Atlas, probably 16.
Okay.
And then I would rekindle the thing with the first band to have those guys play in Dessiderium.
I gotcha.
And is that the first time you had gone into like the recording situation and tried to lay down some tracks?
I tried. Yeah, the first album is from that time, the first Dessiderium album. And if you listen to it, you'll be like, wow, it sounds like shit. And that's because I didn't know anything about anything. So
yeah,
all I knew was you hit record and it tracks what you do. But it was literally just, you know, the roughest thing you could ever imagine. But
is that still out on like Bandcamp, the first ever Dessiderium thing?
Yeah. I took it off a while ago, and then people were like, what the fuck? Where'd it go? So I put it back. And now I'm too embarrassed to have it up. So that's the one I'm
gonna get this guy to put Where Up for everybody to listen to. And
Nope. What did you use? Alec, what did you use for the recording? Like Cool Edit Pro or something like that back
Dude,
then? Or what did you use?
GarageBand.
So like this is what I'm talking about because I didn't know anything about anything. So I just thought like it was a hard rule that you had to use like a real amp and like mic it up. Which so I had like a Pod HD 500. It would have sounded a million times better if I just used that. But I thought that was like breaking some rule. So my guitar teacher lent me a like noise isolating cabinet speaker.
Yep.
And I didn't know anything about how to work it. So the tone, it's like a crate head and then that isolation speaker. And the tone is
What's
just
an isolation speaker. I'm very.
It's like a speaker cabinet, but with a cover, so it doesn't make a ton of sound.
Closed. Yeah.
So you can put a microphone inside the isolation section of it.
Like the face is covered. So
no, it's like a box,
like a barrier in front of it immediately.
Well, it's like a for
It doesn't let it travel. It doesn't let the sound travel.
It has no reverb, so it's just like a
like
straight
the speakers
sound
on top, and then you like put a lid on it.
Yeah,
so then it just sounds all boxy.
Casey has one, and I thought it got some use on one of your guys' projects, but maybe not yet.
I think it might have. Yeah. It's definitely, but so not knowing how to use one though is pretty like so.
I think especially with those, like you need to know what you're doing. And
exactly.
So
what kind of mic did you use? Just like a SM57?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've never actually fucked with those. I've seen people like Zach. I've seen him fuck with them once, but like, what's up, Casey?
Hey, there he is.
I don't have mine anymore.
Your ISO cab?
Turn yourself up a bit.
You're quiet.
Am I quiet?
Did you sell it?
Can you guys hear me?
No. Can you hear me?
Crystal clear.
Casey Howard's in
All
the
right.
building.
I just need to talk louder. Is that good? Is that good?
That's good.
All
Good.
Oh, that's great, dude.
Whew, okay, I'm here. I made it.
You made it, dude. Thanks for
going, Alex. Sorry, I'm late.
How's it going, Casey? No worries, man.
What up,
good to see you.
But I'm loving this Dessiderium lore. So how you figured out the first?
Did we wait real quick? Did we finish the cabinet situation? Did we fully explain that? Because I don't.
No, Casey said he has one. He was just chiming in with that originally.
Oh, okay. I don't know if there was any other.
Yeah,
ISO cab.
The Demeter one, whatever the one is, the one I had, but it had a Celestian, whatever 30, whatever.
Vintage 30, yeah.
It was really cool, but it was our late friend John's. Like I got it kind of gifted to me, and then I gave it to Richard. So like anything I got from him, I didn't sell. I just kind of either gave it to Richard. Or
Kept it in the front.
Yeah. So, but it was cool. But I was like, I'm just really not using it. Like I feel like he'd get more fun out of it. Kind of.
Yeah. So no reverb. What would that?
Well,
I mean, for metal, like
more than just
how does that benefit?
It's just more of a punchy, direct sound, right? What would you guys say?
I don't know. I never got to sound good.
I think the use case is you could be in the same room as a band. You could be playing your parts, and you could be tracking your cab, and then you could also be tracking the drums live in the room with you. But you're not going to have the guitar sound in the room sound. It's going to be isolated.
Yeah. You could actually have a live recording, but everything's isolated.
Instead of buying like a studio that had like a room that was separate and deadened, you could just that makes sense.
Well, like my experience was like it's funny you said that because I didn't really like the sound of it that much.
Was it kind of boxy for you too?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And I was always just like, interesting. Like it's like convenient, and I think they also made those so you can like record in your apartment or whatever.
That's the biggest thing. Yeah.
It's not always just like this is going to be better. It's just like more convenient for certain things.
Convenient.
But like I think having crazy like cabinets with like tents and weird stuff like set up or configurations of mics or whatever sound barriers or not. I mean that's all like way more. You do so much more with that, like even for making sample or whatever they call them for emulating sounds or whatever for
impulse responses, IRs.
Yeah.
Impulse responses, dude.
Yeah. What did they do on the black panel?
Yeah, now you guys are making me way too serious, dude.
Dude, Mike can tell you. Mike is like the king of all that shit.
What's an impulse response? Dude?
Oh god.
Here we go. Yeah, let's get Mike.
I'm gonna go pee, but I'm gonna.
Yeah. I'll be right back to you.
You're going to explain it for Anthony while he leaves.
Yeah, right. I'm just going to.
I'll stay here and hear the impulse response. But my bladder had an impulse response right now.
You just take a fucking microphone of your choosing and run a test signal through a cabinet. Did you hear that?
I did.
I did like You run a test signal through the cabinet, and then it's analyzed, and then you run it through like Axfex or
MIDI. Like
no,
oh okay.
no.
You need to make it way dumber for him. Just say it makes it sounds like a cabinet. It measures a cabinet's output.
Capturing a snapshot of a specific cabinet with speaker and microphone and that microphone's placement. So like you get it to sound
and
exactly.
You can manipulate that. So
yeah,
you're saying you could basically take that whole thing and then put it to how you're playing it, and it'll be like you're playing through that cab with that configuration.
Yeah, because when you're running like Axfex direct to your PC, you're using simulation for everything, right?
Okay.
So
he doesn't know
the speaker cabinet.
I'm on it, dude.
The speaker cabinets that are in units like this are real world speaker cabinets that have had a test signal run through them.
I lost it.
God.
It's just trying to make a tube amp, like a live tube amp sound.
Yeah, I need more of the
like basically sound like a real amp through a digital interface. So you don't have to have all the big tube amps with the
basically I need to talk to somebody else, you motherfuckers.
All right, let me try to explain while he's
yeah, he's a professor. Oh shit, we both
okay. So Anthony, I want to plug my guitar into my computer.
Okay.
And then I want it to sound like it's coming out of a cabinet.
All right.
So I pull up an impulse response, and it makes it sound like it's coming out of a cabinet.
No
matter what I'm playing.
The professor nails it.
Yeah.
He's a professor.
He
develop
it,
take the complex and make it simple.
Yeah.
All right.
So
I'm sorry.
Tell me.
I'm just being the there's somebody
the whole
who
episode so far,
like
so I can catch up. Sorry, we're talking at the same time.
Oh, we have Alex on.
Yeah,
I know.
What's up?
Actually, Alex, how you doing?
I didn't know what impulse responses are either.
Oh shit!
I thought it was funny that we both went to the bathroom when you're like explaining them.
I didn't go to the bathroom. You're going right now.
You can go back and watch it. I know after it's on.
No, we're talking about recording the first Dessiderium album when Alex was in high school.
Oh yeah.
And then we should speed it up a little bit so we get to the present before it's midnight.
Too late.
So and Anthony's not here, so we can speed it up as fast as we want, and he won't be like, well, you cut over when you were 17 and whatever. But so what do you think is next in terms of your music timeline? What's the next important thing that happens to you, Alex?
Well, we're like playing an Atheist and Arkaik, so right now I'm writing new stuff for both. So trying to write I have like a new Atheist demo.
Oh, sick.
Kelly in the chat, so I'll be sending that soon.
Yeah. What up, Kelly?
You're writing for Atheist right now?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That's badass.
So we want to get some new stuff going, get a new album out. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. And then Arkaik we're a few songs deep, but still just working on stuff for like either another single or a full length. So just writing a bunch of stuff.
Speaking of playthroughs, like I watched both your Arkaik playthroughs from last year, and I was like, I want to put these on the podcast. Fucking sick. Nice. I was like, damn, man, you're so precise and everything, and you have such a cool different style. I mean, so was a lot of that you with the Arkaik stuff, or I know Jared like arranges a lot of things and stuff and stuff like that, but how was the writing process we're jumping to Arkaik, sorry. But just guitar playing wise, was that a lot of it you?
Writing wise,
yeah.
We still had our previous guitar player at the time, Chris Portugal too. So me and Chris wrote like 3 songs. I wrote the other 5 with Jared though. Jared like oversees everything, and 2 of the songs I wrote with Jared, it was like totally collaborative. Vertical Road and the title track. So and then the other 3 songs, Eminence, Wayward Opulence, and Broken Glass Apotheum. I'm still used to the demo titles.
Yeah.
Those 3. Yeah.
What are the demo titles? Because we all know how everyone works. I
still remember. Yeah, Wayward Opulence was Amethyst. Eminence Emergence was Amethyst Part 2. The 2 songs I wrote with Jared were Ocean 1 and Ocean 2, and then Broken Glass was Dank Cake.
Yes.
I was disappointed until then. I was like, those just sound like Jared. Like
Just a bunch of shit.
Of course, that's what Jared would start a song for. But yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. So
sure, dude.
this is all Labyrinth of Hungry Ghosts is the record you're talking about, right?
Correct.
Okay. So it came out last year, and then you toured it this year with performing the album in full.
Yeah.
With First Fragment
and
Grey Lotus and Wake in Providence, which we were shilling for you guys like the whole lead up to the tour. We like promoted that tour for a while. So
that's right. Yeah. No,
I caught it. I caught it at Chain in Anaheim. That was a very fun show.
That was one of the better ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So how is it to play the whole record?
Oh, it's a nightmare. I mean, I never thought we'd play the whole thing. I thought there were songs we'd just never play. Especially, I mean, you bring up Jared, like that song Broken Glass Apotheum, like those were some riffs I sent to the guys. And then I was like, it sounds more Dessiderium like, so I'm not going to work on that anymore. And then Jared just took all the MIDI notes and like made new riffs out of them.
And
they were so weird and nothing I would ever like, not rhythms I would ever do. But I was like,
Jared and Casey would work together. Sorry.
No, you're good.
They do the kind of the same thing, dude.
But I'm like all for, I don't know, the way he wrote it. It's like I would never think of that. So it's I don't even want to mess with it. Like let me try to learn it how you wrote it.
There's a little tidbit about that whole thing too. He was still living at his me and Casey's old house, and we were all like it was like a Halloween something. We were over there drinking, and then he brought it was like me and Chance were over there, and he just had a song, and he was like, "Do you think this works here?" And I'm like, "No, just." I was like all drunk, and he was like changing stuff. He just like would take my suggestions and just do them. And I was like, "I don't want to fuck up your song." I'm just like, and he's like, "No, put your input on it." And he was like,
"So when that happened, do you remember it being sick when like you switched?"
No, for sure. I mean, obviously,
your ideas being like, "Oh yeah, that was a good idea."
Well, they asked me like, I think it was Chance and him, and they were like, "What's your honest opinion? Should this do this or this?" And I was like, "That It was like something like it was a one part or something," and I was like, and then he's like, "All right," and he changed it. He's like, they were like, "All right," and I was like, "I don't even know what just happened," because he was so quick at the Ableton, whole like the moving, the Ableton moving the MIDI notes around and the riffs and stuff. He was just all there was like cut, and like cut paste over here, and it was like, okay, well, actually, it sounds sick. I mean, it sounded sick the first time too, so I'm just like, I think they had kind of the ear fatigue where they were just kind of like, "Oh, I don't know if it's sick," and they were just kind of like
when do you stop tinkering with the riff?
No, I know that could be the rest of your life if you don't like just move on.
Totally.
Yeah, definitely.
That's cool. Hard to move on though when you define yourself as this creator in the moment, and you're like, that's all your life is just putting this together, and then.
But like listening over and over and over and over and over and over to a song, you're kind of like
it gets you to the point where you're like you second guess all the things that you've worked up, up until that point. You're like, oh, dude, everything was locked in, and now all of a sudden it's not. I second guessing everything.
You need. I mean, what they did is kind of like it's the move. It's like have a fresh pair of ears come in, listen to it, and like because they're like I've heard it a million times, and they're just like. What do you think, dude? Like, like I don't know if it's even good anymore. Should we just trash the whole thing, or like it's like your brain gets to like just fatigue. You're just kind of over it. Like and then next morning you just sleep on it and wake up and you're like, oh, it's sick again. Like you kind of sometimes need that, that kind of break.
If it's like possible to like overwrite a song, like kind of like artists with painting, and a lot of times like they have that like if you keep messing with it, it eventually you can ruin it, So like you have to know when to stop or when it's like back away. It's like, that's it. That's what it, just be done with it, move on.
That's a skill. That's a skill. Like knowing when to back away.
I think that's like, well, go ahead.
No, yeah. My thing is like, I think if you have to like mess with something too much, it's probably not great in the first place, Like you usually don't have to like work on something for hours to make it sound like, you bring an idea and it's good, and then it's good. You don't have to touch it. You know what I mean?
A quick example for me is like there was like some riff that Joel actually wrote like back in the early or the mid 2000s, and we were like just starting to jam together, and I had it on like Power Tab, saved on the computer, and I had this riff like forever, dude. And I've tried to put it in a song for like 3 albums, and finally on our newest like stuff that we haven't put out yet, I was able just worked in this song and it just worked perfectly. I was like, oh
Yeah.
it took like 20 years, but there it is.
No, that happens. Yeah.
Literally 20 years.
It's just, you have to
There
let
is I was
There
gonna
is
say there's the creation that I've seen happen with other people that I know are creative, where it does take a long time, but each stroke or carving of the sculpture or painting is so calculated that it makes sense, and then they eventually still end up with something great. It just took them that much longer to get to. So it's like they weren't going over everything over and over and over again, but it took them like a long time to do their sculpting or painting or whatever.
Well, I think what I know Ola England has said the same thing, and I think Casey, this is kind of what you like for the odious stuff, for the new stuff. Just have a bunch of riffs just stowed away. Just keep them all in a file and like have them ready to go and like know what they are, and just like when you're constructing something, be like, oh shit, this would work. That one from like 2003 would work sick, right? You know what I mean? Like it's just like, oh, this one I wrote a week ago. This, you know.
Because it's cool to just have like some kind of idea, and then you're like, okay, what do I like this, but what do I do with it? And then you're kind of like, it needs a part, and then you just pull from your little chest, and you're like, nah. Sometimes you just, oh shit, that works, you know.
And what's also cool about that is there's the nostalgia effect, since all of us have been working together for so long, that a riff will come from our past that we all get the energy from, and we know it's like a David Siskin riff, but it still works with current odious stuff, and we're like, oh, we're still keeping
David's got that old, like sick odious vibe.
I know. We've mentioned it before on the show, but
So
we're just going to mention it again real quick. Like David Siskin may have not been involved since devouring like
cryptic
wise, but
stuff,
he's
right?
He wrote a lot of stuff on like all the. I mean,
that's what I was going to say. So you may have just only heard Siskin on devouring, but he's been involved in every album since, and cryptic a ton, you know.
He wrote the first odious song, Cerebral Dissection. We wrote it in high school, and he wrote it, the whole thing.
So although like Siskin may not be on any of the records, he is still deeply involved in this project.
It's kind of like the same with to bring it back to Arkaik.
Yeah,
like it's like Chance.
I'm sorry, we got on the.
Well, no, to bring it back though, Chance is still kind of like he's there.
Yeah,
like it's
totally the same thing, and they often did the same thing. They became DJs. You know,
I know. Oh my god,
they're both the same kind of like person, you know.
That's a trip.
I think that Siskin and Chance definitely didn't meet each other, dude.
Yeah,
they would probably like vibe hard, dude.
What are the chances?
I'm sure they have back in the day, but like it's
maybe.
It's
so
totally
I want to hear Alex talk more about like what we're blabbing on about here. Like, what do you think about? I mean, you've already kind of started, but I'll talk more about writing and how you put riffs together. How do you do it, like on Guitar Pro? Like what's your process or processes of doing that? By the way, I got the coolest shorts on the pod.
Oh shit,
those shorts don't believe anything.
I know.
I want another Kelly comment for that.
Showed some skin.
You're welcome.
So with writing and stuff,
get deep, dude. Let's get deep in it.
I can get pretty deep into that. I don't know. I think like writing for me, it's really not I take it pretty seriously. So I don't just like sit down to write just to write. Like it has to, I don't know, whatever, there has to be like a seed, like an idea that inspires me to the point of like getting addicted. Let's say it's like a riff I'm starting with, and then I have to be like addicted to the riff. And then I just like, I need to hear
a riff in your head first, or do you find it while jamming?
Both. Yeah. Sometimes it's like something I'm humming in the shower. It doesn't always have to be in the shower. Sometimes it's just something I'm humming. Sometimes it's
taking
like
a shit or something.
Yeah, that's happened too. Seriously. And then sometimes it's just like messing on the guitar and coming across a chord progression that strikes a chord with me. And it's kind of like I'd liken it to when I'm getting really into a band. Like when I was getting into Opeth in high school, like I was so obsessed with early Opeth And then
What was
it's
your
like
first introduction?
Blackwater Park. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Blackwater Park.
And
Oh, yeah,
then
dude, me
shortly
too.
after that, they did the anniversary tour where they played that whole album, and then like one song from every album up to Watershed. So that was like a good time to get into them.
Jesus.
But what I'm trying to get at is like I got so obsessed with them and kind of like wore out their music to the point where it's like, well, I need to hear more of that. So I'm gonna write more music that scratches that same itch. So the same thing with like writing riffs. I'll write like a couple riffs or something, and I become obsessed with it, and then I'm just like, I need to hear more of that. So then I add to it, and then I just keep adding to it until it's like a full song that I can listen to front to back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But it really does. It does feel like
Cool.
this is the corny part. Like it really does feel like I'm not too spiritual these days, but when I'm really in the flow state writing, that's like the one time I feel like I'm not like doing anything. I'm just receiving information and then letting it out.
Totally, dude.
So
that's awesome.
It's like how it has to happen for me to be like, this is worth it.
Do you do
That's
it on
cool.
Guitar Pro, or like how do you save your? Do you just do it only audio? Or do you tab it? How do you?
If I have like a full vision, then I'll go to Guitar Pro because then I can add the full band right on the spot. But sometimes it's just a riff, so I'll just record the riff just to have it.
Nice.
But it typically goes into Guitar Pro, so that way I can start to put the layers on. Yeah.
Do you like send Guitar Pros to other bandmates? And do you guys share Guitar Pros? Like, do you do that, or are we the only weird?
With Arkaik, yeah. Atheist. I mean, I just joined Atheist, so it's like we're not quite there yet. Like right now, I'm just recording the riffs. I'm going to send them out soon.
Nice.
But yeah, Arkaik, we just do tabs, and then Dessiderium is, of course, just me. So yeah.
You said something just to kind of like touch on it a little bit. You said when you're in the shower, whatever, wherever you're at, it's chord progressions. Is that first what you hear, and then you kind of build around that, or do you hear a riff, or is it both? It's both, probably, right?
If it comes like through my head, then it's like it's a full vision. Drums, bass, guitar, full band, everything. If it's just me messing around on the guitar. Any idea that I come across that's inspiring, it's like I hear what the whole band is doing on the spot. You know what I mean? Like vocal patterns, everything. So I guess that's how I
shout out Jared in the comments.
That's kind of how I know if it's like an idea worth working on. Like I shouldn't have to think about, what are the drums going to do? It's like once I play the riff,
it's like a full feel of a whole.
Yeah, that's how the song goes. Yeah.
Let's tap into the satellite thing where you think you're catching ideas. I like that. That's how I feel sometimes with certain things that have fallen into my lap when I'm trying to make things, or not even trying to make things. It just happens, dude. So what do you think about that? Like, and it's funny how I'm a word guy, so it'll come in words, but it comes in riffs. So like, what is your take on that? Like, where do these ideas come from? I know I'm getting deep right now, but you're making me think deep because you hit a button with the catching ideas thing, like flow state, and you kind of get into this realm where you're making, but you're not making. You're kind of just going with it, right? So like something's coming through you. And so we've all had that moment if you've made something. So what do you think that is, dude?
I truly do believe that there is sort of like a mother brain, like a universal brain, the universal collective that we're all connected to, like through all of time and all of ideas. And I think that you can tap into that. And kind of like you were saying, just sort of become like a medium for ideas to flow through.
Right.
So that's how I view it.
It sounds pretentious when you're like, oh, I have an idea that I think is good and I was chosen for it to come through. But at the same time, you kind of feel like that. Like, I don't know.
I think it's kind of just like listening to your brain, like learning how to listen to your brain. Like it's like, okay, when you think of something funny to say, like everyone thinks of some kind of fun at some point, like their family or their friends, they think of something funny, it just pops in their head and they say it and then it's funny, right? Well, it's the same thing with like a tune, like, and you kind of think of like a or some kind of thing in your head. Like, I think it's the same thing with like music. Like you just hear it, like it's almost like you literally hear it, like in your head. right? And then all of a sudden you're like, you know, something like just. Then you're like, oh, I should like hold on to that because it just like a catch with my net, you know?
Yeah,
Totally.
Yeah,
I think it just
no, totally. Or especially ideas that like kind of feel weirdly familiar.
yeah.
Sometimes they can literally be familiar.
Yeah,
Just like
ripping
from another band.
Yeah. That's
Happened to me.
the problem about the thing and the voice.
You'll do like the sick riff, you'll dun 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 dun.
They're kind of a riff, a gorgasm riff, a fucking yeah.
No, I literally accidentally ripped off Fallujah on my last Dessiderium album, and then I showed it to a friend, and he was like, "Oh, it sounds like forget the name of the song, a song from the Nomadic EP, The Dead Sea." I was like, "Shit, yeah, that is it." That rhythm is 100% that. Yeah.
Me and both Anthony Dan Kenny was like blowing us up the other night, and he was all like, he's all, dude, this one riff, it's exactly the same as another riff. Which riff? He's trying to like test our death metal like IQ or something. Yeah, it's exactly the same as
9 minutes and 10 seconds.
9 minutes and 10 seconds. Yeah, and I was just like, I was like going through all the bands. He's like, no,
and it fucks with you because you've heard that riff so many fucking times. Then you're like, where did it come from? And it does get diluted with like how many years we've been listening to bands that have played that riff, because the riff that nobody's heard the riff that Joel and I are talking about right now. But
it's a riff.
You all have heard the riff.
For a guitar player, it's like a riff where it's not like a super technical riff, but it's like a it's like, you know, it's like Danzig Suicide Silence, so he's into the dun duns a lot. But so like he like was basically, it was like, yeah, I've heard this before, but I don't know what band. But it's like when you get into the more technical melodic stuff, that's where like you can really kind of pick out like, oh, I've heard that melody, you know. It's but when it gets to like I'm like, dude, I've heard, I don't know what band. It's like you know, like bands on that wavelength. Yeah.
Yeah, 10 I know that would work in that.
Well, comedians, like even like, you know, there's been times where we've talked about going on Kill Tony as a joke or something and like putting our names in, but like our brain with comedy will sometimes just grab another joke that we've heard and like change it a little bit, and like it'll, you know, it's kind of like sometimes you don't pay attention to things that you're absorbing, you know.
That's kind of like humanity in a sense. Like we all think that things are newer and better and all this kind of shit, but it really is just like we're taking an amalgamation of everything that's already previous and molding it into something that's shiny and new, you know?
Exactly.
I think if you're like honest and true, like with what you're doing with art, like you'll come up with ideas that like as a person, like it's just like we're all individuals, but we're also similar kind of thing. But if it's all like natural, then there'll be like certain percentage of ideas that are totally original, a certain percentage that are like totally not original, then there's like the in-betweens a little bit. But like what you don't want to become is like really good at being like a parrot. Like I'm super good at just like copying like others, like in a specific way, like being good at that could probably you know. But to be, you know, like just super good at copying others is like not a good thing. Like you know,
totally.
You know, as long as you're not doing that, but everyone sounds like each other to a degree.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, then you just call your band Gruesome and you're fine. So
we're looking for the freshest versions of everything that we love. That's what it is.
Sometimes, but you hear a riff sometimes like that you're writing, and then you'll be like, oh, this riff will work perfectly with the next, and then it's like, oh shit, that's a riff from, you know, sometimes it like invokes a riff from another song you've heard before, you know, by so that's where you can get not in trouble, but just kind of like where that kind of like connection in your brain will be like, oh yeah,
a little too close. A
little too close to a little too on the nose.
I mean, we're working in a finite realm, right? I mean, there's only a finite amount of notes we can use in music and in variation, and the human brain has only gotten this far with it, you know.
You know what I think is a perfect band that has just their own sound is like Psychroptic. It's just like they just sound, and they have that Australian thing, or you know, it's just like Tasmanian. Like there's just something about that band that's just like you can tell they're influenced by like crazy, like Morbid Angel, Suffocation, all the greats, all the EDs, all that shit. But it's like they sound like
they're them.
They're completely them.
That was a perfect combination of the finite resources that we're talking about. Like
it's like Joe's guitar playing. Jesus,
the freshest parts of everything that they loved, and they made this like brand new salad that nobody else is
totally different. Just like man, that's tasty, like so good. Yeah, but yeah, so like I mean, Atheist is another band that did that too. Like it's just like what?
They were that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, if we're gonna be honest, guys, we're talking psychroptic, but that
back
is if we go back to Atheist and
It's like samba music and shit
I mean,
with metal and shit.
in
Like,
general, if we're talking Florida, like for real, Atheist was the forefront of expansion,
experimental,
the fusion, into the weird, into the boundary defying stuff that was happening.
Alex, what's your history with discovering Atheist?
Like at the beginning of the podcast, we were talking about like the first band I ever played in. So that's how I discovered Atheist. We were at a show and we were like in the parking lot in my car, and one of the guys put on Motherman. And to be completely honest, like, I was like 14 at that time. I had never heard anything like that. Like, I was listening to death metal, but nothing that like crazy, instrumentally.
Shout out Roger.
Yeah, seriously, man. Seriously, it was that whole Unquestionable Presence album. It was like too much for me at the time. I just thought it was too gnarly. Yeah. So, but it always stuck in my head because I was like, that band is insane, and that was kind of always my relationship with Atheist till much later. Then I finally checked out the Elements album, and that whole album kind of just speaks to me on a more personal level, like my interests and
yes,
like you said, the samba parts or just the jazzier kind of progressions. Fell in love with that, and then weirdly enough, like shortly after that, that's when I got the chance to audition for Atheist. So
sick,
interesting.
What songs?
Go ahead.
The audition songs.
Yeah,
it was Incarnation's Dream, Water, and then maybe Brains. I don't know if it was just those two or a third song, but yeah.
Right.
Well, I remember when in the underground there was the rumor / confirmed, but keep it on the DL that like Kelly's looking for new musicians for Atheist. And I remember thinking how fucking sick it would be to audition. But my problem was like, fuck, I'm like too much of a utility guy. Like I can play drums, guitar, bass, and I don't know, like, I'm not like specific enough to any of them to be good enough for that band. But I'm just thinking like, I would so love to play for him. And then when I found out you were doing it, I'm like, so sick that a homie's doing it. But
thanks,
yeah, dude. I mean, can you talk about like joining the band when Kelly got in touch? And then I didn't know that you were actually in the band till tonight. I thought you were maybe just filling in for live stuff, but like how has the whole thing progressed? And then maybe also like getting to tour with Cynic, was that like part of the original offer, or how did that all go down?
Yeah. Well, when I first was talking to Kelly, I figured it was just like a one-off thing. Just he needs a lineup for a tour. But what'd he say? He's like, I'm not looking to fuck. I'm looking to marry. So, cool. Well, I'll marry you.
I mean, if you're a touring band, that's really what you're looking for, right?
Or a woman. Yeah.
No, but if you're using that metaphor, you definitely want to have a relationship. You don't just want to take a one night stand out on fucking.
He wants to cuddle like long term.
Yeah.
Especially if you do so much prep to cuddle. Like you're working so hard to like. You're like, I need to cuddle right. I need to make sure I do it. And then they're like, dude, it's just one time. We're gonna do it. It's not gonna be. It's let's do this long term. Anyways, keep going. Sorry.
So I realized he wanted like a full time member. So I mean, obviously I was very flattered and said yes right away. So I think we had like a tour or two that we thought were going to happen, and they didn't fall through because I got the thumbs up like back in November of 2022. So been kind of like waiting on it for a while to announce and everything. But then months later he said we have a tour with Cynic coming up. So that was totally surreal for me. Two bands celebrating like their history together, and I'm just this like random 28-year-old dude that got to like join in and celebrate with everything. So just by chance, crazy.
That's what I was saying, dude. Like you're at that young age where you're bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, but at the same time you have a connection with the old school and the new school, you know.
Totally.
Well,
yeah.
Well,
I mean, Bright Eyed, but like all the Atheist records were recorded when everyone was younger than 28 for sure.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
a trippy
true.
thought too.
For sure. But I'm just saying to bring that if I
Sorry,
can
Jupiter,
use a
but-
pun element to the live realm today, Kelly's gonna need some, you know,
that's
hungry young guys that really get it, that can play it, to bring the full Atheist experience live to the people who are going to buy tickets today.
Well, your main point's very cool. I think I just love the fact that he's got the opportunity to talk to the most legendary old school people and be in a band with them, and,
right,
and do that, and then also still be on his own creative journey to make his own music and like
exactly
get all the input from all the sources and just be like, all right,
yeah,
like and just get all that like
a win-win
information is
situation,
insane.
dude.
I'd like
Dude,
to say, I thought it was just to interrupt real fast. It was really cool. You know, we've talked about that show, the Cynic Atheist, you know, show down here in San Diego at the Brick by Brick, and our friend David from Warbreaker opened that show. So I came with David, and we were there for the sound check and hanging with you guys inside before it was open. And
was that like the DJ set?
Yeah,
I remember that. Cool.
That's our friend David Siskin we were talking about. That was the original guitarist in Odious.
Hey, Casey, did we talk that night?
We did. That's what I'm getting to. So,
okay, cool.
So basically, like, we were just all there, like, hanging out, and like, we've met Kelly, and of course we've had him on the podcast, and I've met him in person a couple times, and super awesome dude, of course. But I didn't know the rest of you guys, and I haven't met any other members of the band. And of course we know Cynic, we know all them and stuff. And Paul, you know, got David on the show, so we were like all talking to Paul and hanging out, and you guys were setting up, and then I think you guys sound checked first, and then Cynic sound checked, and then then David played, the show opened, and then after I helped him get his stuff like on and off stage, we pulled it out back, and we were like loading out the back, and you were out there just hanging out with your guitar, and you guys are about to go on, and I was just kind of chatting with you. I was like, dude, hell yeah, man, fucking stoked to watch you guys, like, love Atheists and all this. And we got chatting real fast, and it was just like you, me, and David, and I was like, oh yeah, I also play in Arkaik, and I'm like, Arkaik. I was like, I was just at Jared's wedding in April, and you're like, I was there too.
Yeah, he was like, with me. Yeah,
I was at the wedding with you, man. Like,
well, there was a lot of people.
We rode the choo-choo train together up the mountain, and we did.
That food was bomb, guys. The food was bomb both at Jared's wedding and Joel's engagement party, dude. Both of those things. I had a delicious meal.
That's like, I mean, that's cool. That story, I mean, is the same with me and Alex. Like like I said, I had a drunk encounter with you and Carrie Gear in Reno, and I remember you. I have a vivid memory of you on the couch, just like playing guitar, going like, these fucking idiots. And I was like, and I remember I count to you like 20 times. I was like, I'm sorry, we're insane right now. This is insane. It's like
right now we always are insane.
Well, he's about to have his first kid, so he was kind of like, this is his last hurrah until he has his first child. We went way as far as
I remember you guys.
You said that was in Reno.
That was in Reno, right before you guys were leaving on tour. We stopped by Chris's house, Portugal.
Oh, second tour I did with them. Yeah.
And you were just sitting there. You guys were leaving the next morning.
And
me and Carrie were annoying as fuck. But and I felt bad when we left. I'm like, yeah, whatever. And at the time, I was like, whatever, they'll get over it. And the next morning, I'm like, oh, hopefully everything's good. But then it was super cool though with you like sitting, on the train. Me and you were sitting on the train up to the wedding with Sharon Jared, and that's when you told me. I think it was on the way down. I remember exactly like the whole thing happened. You're like, dude, I'm gonna play with Atheists. And I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, holy
that was a
shit,
sick train ride, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
Sorry, Joseph, to leave you out because now you're on a pod with 4 guys that were on it and you weren't there. But
you have to just
ride. It was like the coolest train ride I had ever been on, dude. It was really sick.
I was worried about the one thing I didn't like was the one thing I didn't like about it was that there was alcohol and the train was at like 40 minutes. I'm like, do I have to piss off the train now?
Dude, it's so funny because our section was doing the same thing because we all.
Well, it was like the last steam train, right? Or one of the last. Like,
Henry
Cal,
cool.
right?
It was
He's like,
cool.
in 1914, this train was
It was exactly
yeah,
that.
the
but
guy-
that was
the last steam train in this side of the Mississippi.
dude.
And they did that
That
one
was
thing where they like
fucking
went up a
sick,
hill and did
dude.
some backup. They're like, this is one of the legendary backups by a train where they changed tracks. And blah, blah,
Oh, yeah,
It's actually 15.5 degrees.
They
It's like a
sidewind up
theme
the
park.
The
hill.
legal limit
Yeah.
is 15 degrees, but for some reason they made it 15.5. And this is the
Yeah.
steepest grade in
Remember when we, like,
California.
We like
I got
got up
scared.
it, and he was like, "Oh, we made it, everybody. That doesn't always happen."
Yeah.
It doesn't always happen. I
What?
guarantee it always
What do
happens.
you mean? And they just
Yeah.
like fall back down the
They have a
mountain.
99% success rate. I guarantee.
Yeah,
That
it's
was
like- that one group's like
That
terrified.
freaked me
Like,
out.
they're like
I
falling
wish if it really didn't happen, I wish we were the part that didn't happen, dude. Like
Whoa, for a wedding?
everybody,
Jesus.
like
Mm.
half the people fall out of their seats. Oh, it
So
didn't
we're
work.
going on a hike, guys. You guys want to go on a hike?
Yeah.
I remember actually it was funny because me and Alex were involved with the whole pre-wedding thing, and I remember like we're sitting there waiting forever for everyone to show up. We're sitting there. It's me, you, and drummer's name. God damn, I love the guy. And I can't remember his name. Your drummer's name?
Nate.
Okay. Nate. Yeah, Nathan. Jesus, what an asshole. It's me, you, Nathan. We're waiting for the whole time, and like
You drink.
and then I know, and then they came down and they picked us, or they're like, oh yeah, just jump in a car, and just no one
Yeah.
had room for anyone.
Oh, dude, yeah, that was rough.
And they're all, Jared will pick you guys up, and Jared opens the door, and there's just probably this much room to the roof available in the van, like the whole way.
Yeah.
So we just like all get in there,
The
and I'm just like,
bodies,
laying
you had
on.
to climb over people.
Oh yeah, it was the most uncomfortable ride I've ever had in my life. It's only like 10-minute, 15-minute ride, but it was like holding like a yoga pose, like while you're doing. It was like-
That lasted an eternity. That was
Yeah.
like
You're
fully
saying
just-
that's after the ceremony going
No,
back
no, no.
down
This
the
is
mountain?
this is
before-
this is a pre. We're doing the pre
rehearsals.
thing,
Oh,
rehearsals.
the pre thing getting to the place.
Yeah, and we like literally. I remember after we get out, Cher's just like, "Get in, whatever, get in," and she's all like, "Hopefully, you guys didn't land the flowers." And my ass, I looked down at my
Oh,
ass,
yeah.
just on the flowers, and just like and
Oh,
smashed them
fuck.
down.
The wedding
Yeah.
flowers, dude. And your ass was on them, dude.
Well, because it was the most insane like situation for us. We're like,
Yeah.
I guess I mean
there
we
was a
could
lot of
fit-
people. We packed into a
Mhm.
forest.
Yeah, it's not impossible to fit, but but there's
Technically
no room
fit.
for humans. Like
That was,
Yeah.
that was a great dance party that night in that barn.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
everything
Yeah,
was
that was a
great.
cool
Yeah.
barn. I
Wild,
remember
dude.
that.
that was good
Mhm.
times. That was
Perfect.
fun.
Everything was perfect. I had such a good time that night.
It was.
I told my girlfriend that I was like coming on, or that I was like, yeah, the dude who was at the wedding that we went to is going to be on there, and she's like, she's like, I'm not going to remember him because I don't remember anything in that wedding.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it was pretty funny. You were laughing.
Well, it was an
Party.
open wine and beer bar, and everybody
it got
was
wild.
in that line constantly.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
Like I said, the food was perfect, dude.
That was one of the
Everything was
funnest
perfect.
weddings I've ever been to for sure. It was
Dude,
really
and
cool.
even like, I'm all about the food.
Shout
like,
out to Jared.
Yeah,
Shout
shout
out
out,
Jared.
Jared.
the hors d'oeuvre or hors d'oeuvre fucking thing that they
Hors
had
d'oeuvres.
before we ate too. It was all fucking perfect.
I don't
Everything
remember.
was. Shout out to Jared and Shara.
Oh yeah,
I
the
hope
sausage.
you guys are
That's right.
happily still married. What? It's only been a couple of months. April.
Hope you
April,
guys.
yeah.
are
There's a funny
happily-
video too that it's a cute video, but it's a funny. Did you see all the videos of like they had videographers and stuff that were filming? They were like, we had to get there early. We had to like crowd surf Jared. We had
Yeah,
like,
I remember that.
those
like-
were fun videos. Those were fun videos
Yeah.
and pics for sure.
and it came out really cool. Like I remember at the time we're just like, what are we doing? Like I remember me and I think Alex and Nate were standing like close to each other, like what's the plan? What's going on? And like poor Chris,
That's
the
what
bass
adds
player
to
of
it, though.
Arkaik. He wasn't in the groom's party, but he was like there. And they were just going like, no, Chris, get the fuck out of the shot. And we were just
What was funny
He's
was
like the nicest
Trevor
guy in the
looked
world. I'm
very
like,
similar
oh,
to you
dude.
guys, so everybody
Love
thought
Chris.
Trevor was part of the groomsmen, but he just dressed similar to you guys.
yeah. No, it was fun. It was
Yeah.
overall a super fun experience, and
Mm.
everyone came down for it. It was fucking awesome to see everyone, and two
Yeah.
of our best friends got married, and it's fucking awesome.
And if
And,
you
but-
weren't there, fuck you.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know. fuck
No,
you
we
guys.
wish we were there. And
No, I'm just kidding. I-
they should have been there.
I vicariously enjoyed it. There's a lot of good content from it. Shout out.
Cool.
Definitely.
Boom.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, that's where I actually like got to talk to you and like understand, like, because I've always been watching your videos and stuff, because you post a lot mainly on not on YouTube, but on Facebook and stuff, like your videos? You used to.
Yeah, I haven't been posting much lately, but Instagram would post little teasers and that sort of thing. Yeah,
definitely.
I've kind of fallen off, but
you're one of those like underrated guitar players. So I'm like, that's I was talking about earlier, like Jared, like where the you just find aliens. Like I know you're into the alien stuff, but like you just find them playing guitar in Arizona.
Don't get me started on alien shit right now, dude.
Secret shredders, dude. Secret.
Oh, how did that come to be, the Arkaik gig?
Yeah. How did he find you?
Nathan, the drummer, he used to live in Arizona. And
Singularity.
Yeah, I came out to Arizona for college, and by the time I was like in my second year of school, it just felt weird not playing music with anyone because that was a big part of my life. So hit the Craigslist, and I found like a tech death band looking for a bass player. So long story short, I hit him up. It worked out, and Nathan played drums for them.
Okay.
So that's how me and Nathan met. And he quit like 3 months after I joined because he was getting really busy with all his tours and stuff. So, but we just stayed in contact. I gave him my number. And then, in 2018, he hit me up actually saying that Veil of Nath needs a guitar player. So I was all about it. Like, dude, I want to go on tour. It's something I've always wanted to do. Didn't work out. They rekindled their thing with their old guitar player. So then Arkaik needed a guitar player, and that's how I got it.
Well, you made the right choice, my friend.
yeah. I ended up getting to do a tour with Veil of Nath too, so that's cool.
Yeah.
To do both.
Yeah,
it's been really sick, man.
That's cool, man. So I mean, influences guitar wise, because I know, man, like when I watch your style, it's your own for sure, but there's styles in there. I'm like, there's techniques that you have down that I'm like, holy fuck! Like watching the playthroughs today, like who are your main influences on guitar? Because you definitely have took something and then kind of next leveled it.
Guitar wise, there's different like players that are kind of like landmarks for me throughout time. So I'd say Dave Mustaine was the first one. He was the one who made me like, he was my guitar hero as a kid.
Oh,
I'll say Dave Mustaine. After that, I'd say Alexi Lejo from Children of Bodom.
Fuck yeah.
Yari from Winter Sun. It's hard to support that man these days, but he is legit my favorite guitar player of all time.
Nice.
Mikhail Akerfeld from Opeth, of course. Devin Townsend. Those are all the big ones for me. Yeah, I'm sure there's others that can't think of right now, but honestly, a lot of the time too on guitar, I'm trying to like imitate stuff that really doesn't have anything to do with guitar, like try to imitate like a piano player, or I'm very influenced by like hip hop beats, so try to kind of just create like an interesting loop on the guitar, and not
cool.
Like a riff, but more just like a whether it's keys or like a synthesizer or something, yeah.
I mean, one of the harder things when like coming up with ideas and stuff is the beat, like just getting a beat behind it, because you can always be like, okay, well, you're all like doing like scalier things, but not is that the word? Yeah. But like not thinking about like how if you take a simple scale riff, it's like if you base it around a rhythm that's like trippy, then like it could just become its own animal and stuff. And I've always heard like a lot of guitar players go like, a lot of hip hop stuff, and I'm like, how? Oh, like in my old age, I'm like, I get it now. I'm like, because it gives you just ideas of rhythm, like different ways to like put in your, like figure out like a cool rhythm around a riff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Especially with hip hop, it's like if I think about my favorite hip hop beats, it's usually them just taking like a motif from some like soul song or R&B song or whatever. But it's like whoever's making the beat, they hear something that they think is the best part. And then they take it and they make a whole song out of that one part. So for me, it's like I write progressive stuff, but looping things is really important to me. That's actually where I think the attraction for Opeth is they're not progressive in the sense that it's constantly changing. It's like they have a riff play for like a minute and a half, and then they go to another riff and they'll play that for a minute and then go to another one. You know what I mean? It's like each section loops.
Yeah.
So repetition is really important to me. And
it's like a journey with them. It's like it starts as a beginning, middle, end kind of thing, and they always kind of like Drapery Falls will start with like, they'll end with that part at the end, and you'll just be like, oh, that's so good. That's the perfect way to end it. You know what I mean?
And like how they started it. Yeah.
Exactly. And it kind of brings you back as like it's an end of a story.
The bookends.
Yeah, it's like one of those movies that starts off with like the end and the beginning, and then it ends with it, and you're like, oh, that's how it happened. You know, like,
you hear it, and then you get context, and then you hear it again, resolve everything.
Definitely.
Yeah, they're the greatest band ever. Yeah.
I actually I would say if I had to pick one band, for the writing, I'm just like the journeys they take me on. I'm just like, I mean, there's 4 or 5 albums I'm just like obsessed with.
Is this Opeth you're talking about?
Yeah, definitely.
It's so funny.
What was the albums again?
Me and Mike were just talking about Opeth before this episode too. It's just like
I have to get into them, and I like them. I need to do it. I need to take the plunge. So
I know
all like the early stuff or something, or like what is it?
I would say that Alex's first album was the same first album.
Blackwater Park is the start. That's the start.
What is it called?
Blackwater Park.
Okay.
And then I would say Ghost Reveries would be second, right? What would you say, Alex?
Yeah.
I mean, my favorites are My Arms Are Hers, Morning Rise, and Blackwater Park.
Morning Rise is something I got into because of Nate Ververucci.
I love Morning Rise.
No, is that
honestly though, like,
is that the red one?
That's Still Life. Still Life.
So he got me to Still Life, and that you could see their style getting into the Blackwater Park from Still Life.
Yes,
and I was like, and I was like, oh, okay,
this is
the progression.
Still Life, the one that's like red cover. No.
Yeah,
it's a red cover.
Yeah,
like a girl there, right?
It's like a female figure. Yeah. That album right there definitely is the bridge to what everybody loves about Opeth.
And the Faceless are the one when touring with the Faceless. I mean, all the guys were just like, dude, you're not into Opeth? Like, what the fuck? You know, we toured with them a bunch of times. They're just like, they're all, dude, this is like the sickest band. Like, what are you?
And then Casey, if you build up to Ghost Reveries with good intentions, it'll lock you in for life.
Watershed's amazing too.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, albums 1 through 9, you can't go wrong.
So
I don't hate their new stuff, but albums 1 through 9, that's like
it's just kind of like a band that kind of became like I mean, they kind of changed their style.
Watershed was the last one that I was connected with. The rest of them, I appreciate them and I love them, but at the same time, like I don't have the same connection.
Yeah.
I'm adding these to my list right now.
Well, they went to like creating a whole new style that we've never heard before, to like kind of going to like their influences, which is like 70s prog rock and stuff like that, which is cool. And I love. I mean, I respect the fuck out of it, but I'm like, for what they did before, I'm like, how do you? I mean, as a fan, I want to judge them. Like, how do you do that? But obviously they changed. They're allowed to change.
Yeah,
they're probably like, I'm fucking
totally
so tired of the style. I get it.
It was crazy too, because like as I said, right when I got into them, it was right before they did that big anniversary tour. So after that tour, I was like, this is the greatest band of all time. And
I bet.
Anytime they come, like it's the only band I know their whole discography. Like I'll be ready. And then the next tour they did was when they put out Heritage, and then the whole set list was like death metal free, which is
no growling.
Fine. It's cool.
He's got a great voice. He's got a beautiful voice. So.
Yeah, but it was crazy, man. It's like
I love the dynamic of his clean, amazing voice with the angry growl parts, and then like he'd be beautiful again.
The transition so well.
I know. I'll just be like, holy fuck! One of the best growls I've ever heard in my life.
The most fullest power. Yeah, no, for sure, dude. But this is my thing with that. Like, in any band like that, we just have to just be grateful that there was a nice giant chunk of that timeline that we connected with, like there's no way I'm not we all have ego, and I have enough of an ego to where there's times where I say I want, but in reality you can't sculpt any other artist's vision. So once you connect with it, then just be happy that you had this deep connection, and then if it falls away, it falls away.
But it makes me
And then
happy.
you
Them
still
doing,
have
they're
to
doing what they're doing.
respect.
They're doing what they want to do, and that makes me happy. Even though if it's not
Yes,
something I want
that's
to
what it
listen
is.
to.
You're like, thank you for giving that to me.
Yeah.
I don't have the same connection necessarily that I did,
Yeah, which
but
is
I
fine.
respect that you are continuing, because I know that somebody else out there is making that deep connection that I'm, you know.
My
Colin?
take is that means there's more ideas that I can use that they aren't gonna get to first. So I'm like, thank God they're done, so I can fucking try to do it and not
I
just
learned
be
the
like, God
Draperies
damn it, they
fall
stole
solo
more of
today. I learned the
Yeah.
Draperies fall solo today because I'm
Really?
like, because yeah, I
Play
did,
it
'cause
for
I'm
us,
a
dude.
Stramberg. Fuck you. I'm hammered. I just learned it. Like I'm gonna forget.
Like in a
everything.
Make
Stramberg,
Alex
bro.
play it.
But the thing is though, it's such a
Can't think of a
quiet
solo.
solo. But like, it's such a quiet. It's in the quiet in the mix, but it has such a good part. It just makes so much sense that way. I don't know. They just so many things they do. I'm like, oh, I get why they did. You know, it's I may be overthinking it. Maybe it's just a fuck
Yeah, no,
up.
everything they write has a purpose. There's no
Yeah.
filler, you know.
Yeah.
Totally. And
So
yeah.
last thing I'll say on Opeth, the fact that they finally played Black Rose Immortal live this year for the first
I was
time ever.
freaking out
yeah.
when I saw the
I
video.
fucking watched that video, the like
That's
you
dope.
know, fan staged fan filmed, and I was just 20-minute song. I was just so happy to just catch a fucking cell phone video of it. Just a fan from
Dude,
like
yeah.
so long.
Did you
yeah.
hold the whole time for the 20 minutes?
Oh, I watched the whole song.
Mm.
And you got it on video?
No. I'm saying someone else filmed
Oh.
it, and I fucking.
They did this
watched
in
it.
like Europe. It was like their 30th anniversary.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Hopefully, it
Yeah.
comes to the U.S. eventually.
I'm too
yeah.
drunk. I thought you were there in
No,
the flesh.
dude. But I did
But he
catch
was
them.
there.
I caught them with Mastodon, and
Yeah,
it was a
oh,
very
me
fun
too.
show. It was a very
Yeah,
sick
me too.
show, and
Is that a
they had a
mayhem thing? No, not a mayhem.
no. It was
No, it's just
the
a tour.
first band played was Chemist, who David Tarot produces, so I'd known them and they were cool. And then
Nice.
Mastodon were sick, and then Opeth, dude, they had a huge mosh pit for Deliverance. It was like a giant ass pit. It was sick.
That's
awesome.
Half the set was very like proggy, no movement, you know, but
Yeah,
the fucking they still go, dude.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
they do. Yeah,
Yeah, I love
I'm
Opeth.
telling you.
I love
that
actually.
voice-
There's a funny thing that Michael or Michael, whatever you call him. He does. I've seen him a couple times where he banters really well with the crowd. So he'll be like, and he goes like, "What do you want to hear?" And they'll like, someone will be like, "Bah, bah, bah," and they'll go like, and they'll just play like a part of it.
yeah,
Yes.
And they're like, all right, and they're like, what else you gonna hear? Like,
yeah.
play another
It's
part
awesome.
of it. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
someone
everyone's
said
just
like play something off Orchid, and he did like play the first riff off a song or whatever. And
Yeah,
Such
yeah.
a tease. Such
Yep.
a tease. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not
I
trying to
know.
bring it back to hip hop because I wasn't here for the hip hop, but there's a guy named Buck65 that did that same exact thing.
Mhm.
When I went in to see him, he put a piece of paper out and let everybody have a chance to quote or not quote, like request a song. And he did every single one of them in between, even if it was just a little piece, like you just said, like a riff or something, or a little bar or whatever. Like those types of artists truly show that they're there for their fans, you know?
Yeah.
I love that. I truly like I have goosebumps right now talking about that because they have a plan every
Mhm.
night, but they're willing to deviate from that plan to just like make that situation a little more special for however many fans do that, you know? Out of 500 or 1,000 people, who's really going to be the people that request something like that, you know?
Well,
One
I'd
or
like to request right now that you kind of grab one of those guitars off the wall and play us.
and play with you here.
Teasing us with all these guitars behind you.
I know, dude. Everybody, I can play 3 riffs and I'm surrounded by guitars, and I'm gonna be surrounded by guitars for most
Three's
of
plenty
these
of riffs.
episodes. What?
I said 3 is plenty of riffs. 3.
I
plenty
know,
of riffs.
right?
Plenty of
I
riffs.
could play the basics.
All right, I want to ask another Dessiderium based question.
Yes.
All right.
Cool. can you talk about every Dessiderium record? And there's only what, 4 or 5 of them, so not too many, but just like talk about what they mean in terms of the band and your musical evolution, and then what you're sort of working on for the future. I just want to kind of catch the whole discography and like your musical history, and I just like Dessiderium a lot. So
cool, right on. Yeah, the first album, Life Was a Blur, it's called that because it's supposed to be like, whenever all is said and done, it's like you look back at everything you worked on. Because I intend to do Dessiderium forever till I die. So it's sort of like a reflective title for the first album. The second album, Rain Gates, is kind of all about looking back at childhood or things from the past that were not right, and kind of looking at them through an adult lens, and kind of seeing like, oh, that was something we joked about, but that was not right. That was something messed up happening. So yeah, it's kind of nostalgia through like a dark lens.
Right.
Shadowburn, that was an album that's just a very personal one. I had lost someone very close to me, so I was like, actually didn't want to write any music at all. And I was with a grief counselor at the time, and she really inspired me to like put the things I was feeling through music. Yeah, exactly. Even though it's not something I really wanted to do, but I took her advice and made that album, and I'm very connected with it now. And then Aria, that was much older than Shadowburn, but I thought it was kind of fitting because it's this album I wrote when I was like very single and getting older and like just dying for connection in any way. So it's this sort of like concept of like a dream romance that I wrote a long time ago, but then I kind of fleshed it out with like my modern perspective on things. So those are the 4 albums, and then the 5th one's going to be like a true kind of dedication to my youth and growing up, and in a more loving light, and then somewhere where like innocence gets corrupted. So it's another like nostalgic kind of album, but a little bit more positive than like Rain Gates. So yeah, they're all very personal though at the end of the day.
That's super cool, dude. I mean that's one, if you're making art, that's exactly what you would want, is to be putting yourself into the thing, and you talking about all these personal things, and there's the triumph at the end where you just said that here's now me looking back at it all, and I have a different lens. You were just talking about lenses. You put a different lens on but still through nostalgia. I think that shows that you've overcome, or at least come to terms with what you were just talking about, because that first one, you mentioned the first one. I was going to break you up on the first one, and now I'm hearing redemption. So breaking you up on all of these albums sounds like a different podcast that I think I want to do, bro.
Nice.
Yeah, just because it sounds like this project is very personal to you, and it intrigues me as a listener and a fan, that I would want to get deeper on that,
Yeah. No, it's all extremely personal stuff. Yeah,
that's cool, dude. And to put yourself out like that too, I think that's courageous, and something that I, as a person and consumer that is looking for the real, that's right up my alley,
Yeah, Yeah, it's funny because like have a lot of trouble connecting with people like on the level to be able to
you've
talk
done
about
a
anything.
very good job tonight, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. You've connected with
Got that a
all
lot.
of
Yeah,
them.
yeah. I guess it's more of an internal struggle. I don't know.
Well,
so music helps
you've
with that.
triumphed tonight at least
Yeah,
with
thank you.
us because you've connected with me at least. I can feel it. I don't know if you can feel it. Joel's back.
I'm having fun.
He had a 73 hour 73 minute piss right now.
I don't know. I'm actually working right now, but it's all good. So keep going. I have to do some nerd IT stuff.
You guys in your IT shit, you got like constant breaches. You're the doorman for your you and Casey are just like I
Take
see
me
you
out of the
guys-
conversation. I am working right now.
All right.
I'm the new guy. Joel's deep in the real shit, the security CSIR shit.
Oh, dude,
So-
well, take yourself
And I'm
off
drunk.
camera if you're gonna work
And-
and be all
I know he's all
non-banana man.
look at his mom.
Well, so I asked the question and about the Des kind of lineup. Are you guys? Is it a solo project in terms of writing moving forward? Are you seeking contributions or like what's okay? So it's just
yeah. It'll always be a solo project writing. Yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
So in that way, you've kind of divvied up. You're like playing in other bands, and then you've just got this like solo project. But then the solo project has members, but it's just the live thing is just a realization of that. Okay, so you're not trying to like have it all as one thing. You're kind of still compartmentalizing.
Yeah, just I want to keep it how it's always been, but just play live if we can, because playing live is cool and allows you to connect with people and celebrate together, and so I really like playing live. I think it's special. So I do want to do that more with it. Just hasn't gotten to a point where it's like consistently being played live, but yeah.
I know that with my band Dreamer with Chris Beatty from
You play in Dreamer as well?
Yeah, I'm the drummer.
Nice. Okay, cool.
I know that we've talked about Des as one of our like, oh, they would be a cool band to play live with.
I love Dreamer, so
oh hell yeah, dude!
I would love to make that happen.
I'm gonna do a shameless plug right now. Our intro to the show is Chris Beatty, and
I saw that on the credits, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't know that.
Yep.
Yeah,
oh
that's
yeah,
really cool.
And you know that I saw the first Dreamer show ever, and nobody else was there to see it.
That's like recently, right?
No, this is like. Well, their first official show was recently, and I actually missed it, which is terrible. But you guys played on my birthday, you remember, Joseph?
Yeah, dude. I mean,
it was like 2022.
So me and Chris and Ricky came down to Casey's birthday at a brewery, and we jammed, and we played a couple Dreamer songs.
In Oceanside.
Ricky, there was no bass rig, so Ricky didn't play. It was just me and Chris.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But I guess if you want to call it the first Dreamer show, I could ask Chris if
let's call it for Casey's birthday.
That's what you guys were saying at the time, but
yeah.
I mean, question for you: is Dreamer like a solo project of Christopher, and then sort of the same thing, or is it a full band?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. I read Ricky's emotional support.
And
wasn't he playing like a percussion instrument or something? What was he doing?
Fuck,
was it like bongos or something? What were you playing, Ricky?
I bet Ricky, he did everything he could.
He did.
Oh, dude. You need to listen.
I know Ricky did.
So
he was there.
So when I joined Dreamer, Chris had written like 2 LPs.
Get on it.
Bongos. That's what it was, dude.
Chris had written like two LPs and an EP's worth of material, basically all on his own. And then there was another guitarist, Zach, who joined at around the same time as me. So he's our second guitarist. And then Ricky joined a little later. And then we got our vocalist. And like as everyone joined, the concept was like, oh, we can all like add to the project, get writing or whatever. But like we already have these like Touchstone, like pretty much complete records. And then we kind of like want to get those out before we like do anything else. So it's not the same as Dez the way you were describing it, but it's for as long as I can foresee, it's everything we put out will be a Chris Beatty solo endeavor with maybe just a couple tweaks of our own.
Gotcha.
Chris is a blessing to the metal community.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say right now, I think that I see the future in that man right there.
I mean,
amazing.
Dude,
I think, honestly, I'm not just saying that because of the fucking intro, blah 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 blah. I think that what I've seen in him since we started this show, it's at least his generation that, like I was saying, you guys are.
I mean, Zenith Passage
igniting
too.
a fire in it.
He's so great in Zenith Passage, like with
so
Justin.
Good.
He's so good, dude.
Yeah, there's very very calculated reason why.
Gotta love the Christopher.
Beatty is in.
I think
dude.
He came to the Death show that we played at the Knucklehead, and I had a bit to drink that night. I think I was freaking him out because he was there, and I remember seeing him at like every LA metal show that I ever went to, because like I was young and like there weren't a ton of young teens at shows and stuff, but he had like very very blonde hair, so he kind of stuck out. But at that Knucklehead show, I was just like naming off every show I've ever seen him at. And he's like, who are you, dude? Like,
but, you should have stuck around. You should have stuck around LA, man. Could have kicked it a lot more. But
yeah. No, I miss LA.
Yeah, no, no. He's, dude. I mean, fucking. I will say that as a guy who joined that band, I've been a little like, okay, like let's see if the Zenith thing he's doing really pays off for Dreamer, because. You want to think about everything in terms of this like kind of big strategic, like how is this going to work? And I was first like, man, he's going to be focused on that and won't ever have time for us. But then with the reception that Zenith's gotten with their new record, I'm like, well, now people are going to check out Dreamer. And I just feel like it's so hard to launch a new band. Like it's harder. I don't know how you do it these days, but at least people will be like, oh, this is the guitarist of Zenith. He was on this record. I better go check out the new one. So but all that stuff was written
really fucking sick
years ago. Like he wrote, you go to his SoundCloud, he's got all that stuff. Like most of the first album's already up in demo form.
I think we're subliminally calling Chris out to take all that, or not all of it. You got to give it to Zenith too, because now you're part of that project. But
Psycho Las Vegas, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Never forget where you came from, bro. You got that Dreamer stuff still in you, bro. Chris, you're listening to me right now.
Oh yeah, no. He just every time I talk to him, he's just like, gotta finish the record, gotta finish the like. He has a one-track mind about that. He's just like, there's so many distractions, this, that, fucking, like Justin wants me to film a playthrough, blah blah blah. But no,
it's true though. It's true though. It's like you put in your time to. I don't know. I don't want to say like help someone else out, because it's like obviously playing in Zenith is really really special, But same for me. It's like no one cared about Dessiderium until I joined Arkaik, and then I put out that album, and all of a sudden some people cared.
What I want to say is don't define yourself by that project either, though. Even though you were a part of it, Professor,
no.
You just plugged a European tour. You're going to fucking Europe, bro.
It's a one-off festival,
and it's not with Dreamer, but it doesn't matter. It's not with Dreamer. You are doing your own thing too, bro. Let's not forget about that.
The psychology of it though is I'm just like, okay, I love every band I'm in, but I do feel like fucking there's something special about that band, and if we could just get the fucking record out,
and you see the potential, you want. I know, I understand.
It's not so much. Like it's just wanting to have there be a product, because I guess I'm on the last single as a bass player. I like recorded the bass, but it's you want at least there to be something sitting on it, even if you're not
sitting, and you're like, oh, the world needs this, or I shouldn't say that. Like that sounds pretentious as shit.
But not for real. You guys are talking about fresh music, like Dreamer is fresh.
Yeah.
That's stuff people haven't
I mean, we
exactly
should
heard
do
before, yeah.
some shit together, man. Des and Dreamer
yeah.
would be
I'm
fucking
down.
rad.
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
even have to ask. Yep.
Cool. Yeah.
Mhm.
I kind of knew that was in the bag already, to be honest. I'm just like, of course. Yeah. It's good shit, man. And I mean, who else? I mean, 10-minute minimum, or no, minimum song length for
That's crazy, bro.
records, I think we lower out at like 7. I think
Which
7 is
band?
the short
10 minutes? Which band?
Oh, I think Dessiderium, all their songs are
Oh.
like 10 minutes long, basically.
Oh, okay.
A lot of it.
Sick.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have it. Prague.
That's cool.
Yeah, we did that little run with Tomaroom. They're kind of in the same boat.
Mhm.
Long shit. Yeah.
Dude, fucking love Tomorrow, but also Soul. Wait, what's the guitarist other band? Lunar Chamber.
Yeah, Brandon. Yeah, dude, it's so good. Mhm.
Dude, that shit is insane, dude.
Stupidly good. Yeah.
It's so
Lunar
fucking cool.
Chamber?
You got to check out Lunar Chamber, bro.
That sounds
Brandon
amazing.
and Kyle they're both just insane and like
It's like
yeah, I've been familiar with
on a
Brandon's stuff for a
chamber
while.
to the moon. Like
I think the
follow
album,
a
the EP
elevator
is
to
called
the moon.
Shambolic Vibrations. It's
Yeah.
like Buddhist death metal, very fucking sick.
Yes, dude. Well,
Hell
you're
yeah.
making me excited right now.
Yeah,
It's pretty godly. Yeah.
this has me fucking lit right
Yeah,
now.
dude.
So
Wait,
Guys,
we still
cheers.
got a couple more hours before your birthday, right?
I got 2 hours left of being 32, I guess.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
so your birthday is at midnight. All right. Well, we
I
got
don't
2
know if
hours
we'll
to keep talking
make
about
it
shit.
to your actual birthday, but we'll
Yeah.
celebrate you.
Oh, we have to. What are you
Dude,
talking about? Dude?
Why didn't we should have called this like the pre-Joseph birthday episode too.
Yeah.
He didn't get the
Yeah, man.
official birthday episode yet, dude. Which means actually
This is
wait,
Joseph's
next
birthday
year,
episode
only
right
one day off. So does your birthday next year fall on to a Thursday?
I'll find out.
Question.
I'll find out right now.
Yeah,
dude.
because
We might
be an
might
official
be able to
birthday
knock out
episode
everybody's birthday
has
episodes
to
next
follow
year.
on the day. Is yours next year?
Which,
Anthony?
by the way, the 3-year episode is coming up way
yeah.
faster than we think, guys.
Yep, it's coming up. What is it? October or something?
It literally is episodes away, like less than 10 episodes away.
This, here, I'll look it up.
I'm looking up the 2024 calendar right now for my birthday. So I
Nice.
got a new phone. This
It
is-
might go. I think it goes further ahead. I
Um,
don't think it goes
our
backwards.
our official 3-year anniversary episode will be October 5th, Thursday, October 5th. So it will
Whoa.
be a special extravaganza.
Whoa, dude!
October 5th. Hell yeah.
3 years.
I'll be
So,
there.
Yeah, I hope so.
I hope you are. I hope everybody is. I hope
You should join
you
us.
can do the
Yeah.
same kind of episode
I'll
we did
make
for the
time.
2-year. The 2-year is a massive thing. I know that was 100 episodes, but
One
we'll
year was
be
we're doing 50 episodes. Like we're calling it basically 50. So it's like
150
one
episodes.
year was
in one.
50. You know,
Yeah, because
2 years was
we
100.
only skip like
3 years
2
is
weeks a
150.
year or whatever.
So Alex, what kind of guidance do you have on writing New Atheist? Is it like just fucking whatever you want, or does Kelly have some ideas
Yeah,
for
you just emptied your bladder. Now come back and tell us how
Fill it
you're
up.
going to write
reveal
for,
the secrets?
pioneer progressive tech band from Florida.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, Kelly, he's sent a lot of riffs and stuff. Like he sent one where I'm like, this feels like a song already. We just need to it's just guitar, you know? So that stuff, he's very welcoming to, we can take his riffs and do whatever we want with them. The stuff I've been writing right now is kind of more from scratch. So yeah, I don't know. It's writing new stuff that's influenced by Atheist, as like a fans.
And
with a
for the
fan's
people
ear.
who don't really know, Kelly was heavily involved in the guitar playing of the original OG Atheist. You could even find footage of Atheist jamming in a garage with Paul Masvidal
I've seen
walking
that.
around
It's really
and
cool.
just being there, you know, like
Yeah.
it was Tony Choi's first time
Rehearsal.
ever really rehearsing with the band, and you're seeing all these killer pioneer influential aspects of what we took and ran with just happening right there in a garage, you know.
That's
Steve
beautiful.
Flynn on drums. His style is so different than anybody else at that time.
Steve
Like
Flynn's so
literally watching Steve play, watch any other death metal drummer play.
It's like some of the most fun drumming
It's
performances
totly
to
different,
watch.
dude.
Yeah,
it's totally
fun
different.
is a good word.
Fun
Yeah,
is
he
a
actually,
great word because it really does look like he's having fucking fun while like breaking through boundaries at the same time.
Yeah,
And he doesn't maybe even realize what he's doing.
That's what I was gonna say. I don't know if he does, because like he came to our show when we played in Atlanta.
Nice.
So we got to hang out with Steve, and he was talking about some of the, because like Atheist constantly, it sounds like just tempo changes happening all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And he was kind of like reminiscing on that, as that like that was like a flaw on his part as a player, but it's like that's what makes that band so cool. It's
dude, it
makes
makes
all those weird.
It's such a key component to why I love that band is how Steve plays, dude.
They're just like adding in an extra eighth note somewhere. It's like, oh, okay. You know,
and then you watch it. You watch
cool.
it in a video like I had just referenced. You watch it being executed by that person, and it makes even more sense to me when you watch it. It's so flawless how he's doing it, and you watch these other, even if you were to watch some of any of the greats, they all have their own little flair to it, and Steve most definitely is up there with me because of that, dude. He has his own signature things that I can't even say because I'm a dumbass that doesn't know.
It's so signature. It's like insane to try and replicate.
But you
like,
see it happening, and you're like, I get it, dude. Like I got the language in a different way, you know. I can't say it in words.
That's funny. I would never I've never listened to Atheist and thought of it as like a flawed performance or something. It was always a quirk. Always a quirk.
Strange.
Yeah. No, I mean, no, me neither. And like our drummer Dylan Marks, the guy who's playing all those parts, like he's been just really intense about trying to capture all that, you know. So it was funny to hear him talk about it. Like, oh, that's just because I can't play the same tempo perfectly on every repeat, you know. And it's like, well, no, that's what makes it cool. This slows down here, you know.
I take it you guys aren't on a Click Live, Atheist.
No, you can't do that. No,
you can't be if you want to really like translate that early sound. Like,
you wouldn't.
Then, you know.
Yep.
No, not at all. Yeah.
So
do you think that Jupiter is Jupiter like put on a timeline? Not a timeline. How did they use a click for Jupiter? Because that is something that people feel a difference
with that album. That would be a question for Kelly. Yeah, I'm not sure. I noticed the same thing listening to it, that it sounds a little bit more modern, not just in terms of production, but it just being more like less
because I still definitely feel flares of that early Atheist mentality put into the riffs and the playing, and I love that record. Don't get me wrong, I love that record. I enjoy
it's really good.
Huge part of that album. So when I'm speaking, I'm not necessarily speaking for my opinion, but I have seen that people noticed a difference with Jupiter. So it's taking this idea that is, you know, dates back to the 80s. Atheist dates back to the 80s, dude. So you take that and you take new musicians and you try and recreate that. That's kind of like what Atheist is doing. So now I'm taking the other side of what I was saying, like you guys are keeping it alive, but can you still take that essence and put it into what you're doing? Alex, do you feel like you're doing that right now?
Yeah.
When
I
you
mean,
play
the
with
whole-
Atheists, do you try and conjure that earlier essence that we've been talking about,
Yeah.
you being able to tap into? Do you feel that while you're on stage with Atheist?
Yeah. The way I've explained it to people is like it feels like playing in a really good high school band. And what I mean by that is like the only time I never played with the clique was in like the first bands I played in high school, but we were very sloppy, you know what I mean? So it's like it's doing that but being really good at it. It's like it's not doing any of the fancy modern tricks or anything. It's just playing and playing good, you know what I mean? Playing together. So
And
that's
when
the approach we're doing.
when you learn the Atheist riffs, did you ever feel like, oh, that was an innovative thing that they did during this time in this riff, whatever, that like, oh wow, that idea was happening that long ago, you know?
Constantly. Yeah.
Yeah, like every song, every moment. It's
I mean, they have
15
their
years
fair
ahead of its
share.
time.
Yeah, they have a lot of riffs that are like real thrashy, and it's like, oh, cool. I'm playing like this was written at that time because it was that time. It's really just thrashy and cool. But yeah, there's a ton of ideas that are like, especially the song "Brains." That's like my favorite song because of how ahead of its time it is, and all over the set list, I'm learning stuff where I'm just like, oh, that's where that came from,
That's super cool, dude.
Is Elements still your favorite Atheist record?
From a listening standpoint, yeah. I think my favorite stuff to play is from Unquestionable, but yeah, I can listen to Elements all day. Yeah.
Nice.
I love like one thing you were asking about the writing. Like I love how in Elements, every time there's a harmony, it's just minor thirds the whole time.
Dude,
like almost every time.
So true. Oh my God. I haven't thought of that in years, but that is something I definitely notice when I listen to it. Yeah.
Which is really cool because if you just do minor thirds and like it just in unison, it's like you can get some really weird sounding ideas. So with the stuff I've been writing, I've been trying to toy with that,
You mean like straight minor thirds, or is it like diatonic?
No, not diatonic, just minor thirds. That's why it's cool. Yeah, so it kind of breaks out of the diatonic stuff. Just
that's like
by nature being like
okay,
that.
yeah.
What's the song that's like da na 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 da na 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 na?
Air. That's
Air, right?
That's the best song.
That's the that's the best song on that record. The
Air,
da 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 da. Dude, that song fucking rules. Holy shit.
Yeah, that song. That's my all-time. That and Brains are like my all-time favorites.
So I'm an Unquestionable Presence guy. Like I have Elements on CD. Like that's a great record, but I haven't been able to top Unquestionable by listening to it over and over. I'm just like, I can't get past Unquestionable. It's just the best fucking 90s record. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I have a great time listening to the whole thing, but yeah, I'm on Joseph's side. If you put a gun to my head and said, pick one Atheist record, it's gotta be Unquestionable, just because it's I put myself on a desert island and I'm like, okay, I'm stuck with that. I'm super happy, but there are two elements that make me happy with their progression as a band to get to that point, and I love those aspects and would never want to not witness those aspects through their timeline as a band, because man, I love if I get into the right element. I say element way too many times on this shit.
It's all right.
How many times have you had this conversation?
Just let it go. Just let it go.
If you get me into the right place, I might change my Piece of Time is a great one too.
Fuck
like
yeah.
that, I can't go wrong when I listen to that band. That band will always make me excited at some point while listening to any Atheist song.
No, totally. That's why I love it too. It's like makes me excited too.
Yeah,
and like Elements is my favorite, but it's like for that album, I'll put it on to check out whatever song I'm in the mood for. Like
and Gilbert gave me whiskey tonight, and that's why I'm talking the way I do.
I was just texting that. I just put that on.
Holy shit! There it is.
That's so funny. You just said that. As I was saying.
No, like Unquestionable though. Anytime I listen to one song, I end up listening to the whole album. So I think it's just perfectly written, and the flow of it. And it's like a short album. Too, so.
No, I think okay. So
I cherish everything that.
I wanted to say
given us.
My little rant that I'm going to add to it is that like I think having variety is a great thing. Like, you might not like this thing on the menu as much as that thing, but sometimes you just want like to choose a different thing on the menu, or like, it's like movies, like it's like, oh, this director did this movie and this one. You're like, yeah, I like them. I like these two, but I like this one more. And I always will like this one more, but it's nice to have, you don't want just that same movie repeated. Like you don't want the same. And that's like a common art thing. Like people that write stuff or like music, who made this good thing. I don't want to just keep repeating that good thing, but and so I think that's kind of the struggle, because sometimes also like, like people want that good thing again. They want that another Iron Maiden album to sound like Number of the Beast, or they want, whatever.
Yeah.
Like the same. And it just never sounds the same because they want to do something different. And then
that's what's great about what we're doing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But you have to be different, and you gotta be Iron Maiden and go like, okay, we'll do this. Then all of a sudden Seventh Son, and it's like, oh shit, you did do something different, and it was really, really fucking cool. But it's like sometimes, like, I think it's okay, like, to be an artist and like to make shit, and sometimes it's not going to be as good. That's part of the process. Like, if you just keep creating, as long as you stay like trying really hard, it doesn't like or scaling what's better or not. Like you might still like think it's good, but it's not like the best of, if you had to pick a Desert Island album or something,
right?
But like I'm just saying, like, it's important of art to also create like the like mediocre and like this and that, because that creates a scale. You got to just keep doing it, man, and that's what
I think that's more acceptable.
Like,
and
or every band. I mean, to be honest,
I know. And you, I, all of us see it in every band, but I think it is a little more acceptable to expand your horizons in these underground styles of music, because we're still trying to think that we're building something new. And it sounds very dire when I'm saying I think people are trying to think that they're building something new, but it is true, dude. Like, it's not new. It's not. We all want to think that it is, and I started saying that I really don't. I feel grim when I'm saying this, but I think we can break through these boundaries and find something new. I think we can.
Well, of course.
I think it's there. It's there, but I think that right now we've hit a ceiling in certain things. I don't know.
Well, but it's like finding something new though. Like we're just super picky. Like, like you can find,
we are very picky,
a lot of new things.
How much we've been picking through things,
just the point where the whole
we're really looking for the actual diamonds.
The whole internet thing too makes it tricky, because it's like every time I hear an album that everyone's talking about, it does feel brand new and fresh, and like there's so much of that. But that's also the thing, there's not like one band people are talking about at one time. There's just like a million different things doing crazy innovative stuff that you can go find. You know what I mean, it's almost overwhelming. It's like there's too much.
Then what part does it make it not metal anymore? Like, do we declare a new style of music if that were the sense? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, where's the new music? Like, actual new. Like,
Sleep Token.
Is it new, or is
you mean like
Token just like a nice soup, like of
I don't know exactly what criteria you're talking about. I just came back in, but they're
What
like
is
the
Anthony-
best
I'm
modern
curious- I'm
mainstream metal
curious
band
too.
in a long
Like,
Are you
time.
talking about new
resources?
music, like big music, like?
Like the next big band, or
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
like,
saying
talking about
like
the big-
like that
big
hasn't
thing.
happened.
Oh, well, that's
Oh, for sure, Sleep Token, dude.
That's what I'm saying. So we have a
don't even know that-
finite amount of things that we're working with.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
dude, if
But how big are they? I mean, I don't never hear about this band. I don't know. They're not.
I don't know.
dude, the
either,
last
but
couple big bands were Five Finger Death Punch, Parkway Drive, Bring Me the Horizon. Like they all suck, but Sleep Token is actually good, and they're like on the route to being really big. So that's
Oh.
like a good sign.
no,
I'll say.
I'm
You mean like
and
commercial, like,
cheers to them. I'm not saying anything bad about that. Are they? If I listen to them, are they? Because Joel's tried to show them to me before, and I've heard it, and I was like, "This is a cool combination of things I've already heard."
I see what you're saying. You know, like
You're
hearing like mixes of stuff and mixing
I want
genres in
to
new
hear
ways.
something, and that's kind of, and this is just me speaking personally. I'm not the listener that things are being driven by. Obviously, obviously.
Well, Animals as Leaders already happened, so yeah, might be a while till there's another Animals as Leaders band.
I mean, what would be like a band you would bring up as an example where when they came out it was new?
Like we were talking about them pre-pod, Imperial Triumphant. That is something that is very new and different and exciting for me, and it has been for a couple years now, and they still end up at least pushing the boundaries. The boundaries have already been set, guys. That's the grim thing for me.
This guys.
You want to know my personal opinion? The boundaries have already been set. I really think it. I think that like the boundaries of sound have already been set if you're gonna organize them.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Have you heard of Steve Zorn before, or John Zorn?
Yeah, that's exactly why I know.
I like John Reich.
Why I know.
John Reich and
I've
Steve Zorn.
experienced those boundaries that he's pushed, and I think that popular music.
All right, consider the source. That's the band. I'm gonna turn you on. We'll hang out.
Right.
We'll fucking go hard.
Let's get high and let's listen to it, dude. You're gonna be in the UCSC soon, so let's fucking do it.
Let's go hard, dude. Yeah.
We're gonna do it right now. I'll make a promise that you can sit me down and let's get high and let's fucking.
You got it.
Change
Those are my three favorite
grim
things.
outlook that Anthony has today.
Getting high, listening to music, and Anthony. My three favorite things. Hell yeah. I think.
All right, enough about me.
We should probably start the wrap up at this point. So.
Are we? Oh shit, we're 2 hours plus.
But we started late.
See, that's what happens when we're having fun.
Yeah, this got a little unhinged on my side at the very least.
Sorry, dude. If I had any part of it, I'm sorry.
No, dude, it's all been fun.
No, Alex, I've been having a great time with you tonight, dude.
Same, man. Yeah.
28, like hearing below 30 for any aspiring musician that's doing great work like you are, that always excites me, dude. You're obviously at an age where the fire's not going to go out anytime soon, dude. So like, where are you at currently with the creativity that we were talking about earlier? Like, where have you been pushing all of that towards currently?
Yeah, a bunch of stuff. Dessiderium album 5 is almost done, and then writing new stuff for Arkaik and Atheist. And then I have a bunch of soft non-metal stuff that I would really like to record soon. It's been written forever. So
and where's the influence coming for that project?
Really from anything that's not, I mean, it's still inspired by metal stuff too, just in the harmony. But I don't know, bands like Swans, Devin Townsend, Stephen Wilson. What What else? Kate Bush, all sorts of stuff.
We got this question from Ian a while ago, so I'm assuming the answer is yes. Do you like Porcupine Tree? Yeah.
Yeah. I love Steven Wilson, his solo stuff, specifically "Hand Cannot Erase." I love that album.
I get a lot of "I look like Steven Wilson." By the way,
I can see a little bit. Yeah.
If I hold on.
You got the hair too.
With
and the
this
glasses.
look,
perfect.
Yeah.
I get this. I get the dude. When I go to Bangladesh, everyone's like, "It's Steven Wilson." Like in the metal community that I happen to be in out there. Yeah. So.
Hell yeah.
I don't know who that is, Steven Wilson.
But it's the guy from Porcupine Tree.
I don't know. I mean, I know that band. They're rad, but I don't know.
Yeah, they're great. In Absentia and Deadwing and
that's some good stuff.
Great albums by them that I love. Their second album, I can't remember the name of, but I remember like at some point during quarantine, I got really into like the old Porcupine Tree. And like they're really weird. They're kind of psychedelic and proggy and long instrumental parts. Whatever their second album's called, I love that one.
All that stuff dates back to King Crimson, guys.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, totally.
It's all downstream.
I love all that.
I probably mentioned it recently, and I know I'm bringing it back to me. I just want to say that I went to Streetlight Records in Santa Cruz recently, looking for a great experience. It was kind of depressing, dude. I walked in there. The fucking metal section was 3 rows total. It used to be a whole section of that store. But the one thing that kept me alive while I was there was a live King Crimson fucking song or album that was playing over everything.
Live album?
It was a live King Crimson album, yes. And I don't know which one it was, and I was like, I'm gonna buy a live King Crimson now, but I didn't want to buy the same thing, so I just let that experience be the thing. That's what I was listening to. At least somebody in the store is connected to old music, and and 3 other people in the place, dude. There was literally 3 other people just flipping through CDs and records. Dude.
I went from King Crimson and Rush to death metal. Like yes, that's my jump.
I was the opposite. Death metal to like all the old prog stuff.
You know what? I heard. So I must be getting the Spotify like Rex from Chick Corea because I got the Chick Corea Electric Band, which I've never liked the Electric Band. I always thought that was like the lame 80s. But dude, the live Electric Band material is insane.
So
and
good, dude.
Had Frank Molly on guitar, and I guess this is coming out.
Frank
putting out a single. It was the sickest thing I've ever heard. I'm just like so stoked on this archived live performance coming out finally. So
I listen to music on my Apple Music thing, and I have it like in genres instead of playlists. So I have like I have like different, and I've like kind of over time, like I have like a electronic ambient one, which is all like Tangerine Dream, like all that kind of shit, Stranger Things type shit. And then there's like electronic and instrumental like Tortoise and bands like that. But there's one of I have one that's like a jazz or like a fusion jazz one. It's like fusion Latin, like Paco de los. There's like fusion jazz one, and it's like all. And I've been like getting it all crazy with all the Al Di Meola albums, all the like Casino and all that kind of shit. And then like Return to Forever, all the Billy Cobham stuff, like Mahavishnu, all that kind of stuff. But like, dude, that like I was like, and then even Bill Bruford, like random shit and all that kind of. But like I put that stuff on, dude, and it's like if you put on like a shuffle, just all that 70s albums, like all those different things, like. I feel like I'm getting smarter just like listening. It's just like, oh my god, and like the drummers, like insane. All the Steve Smith shit, like all kinds of shit, dude. And,
dude, the song Orient Blue, Blue from Winters, California, or whatever.
It's a beautiful song. Yeah, Orient Blue is a classic, dude.
I actually would love to hear a metal rendition of Orient Blue.
You know who could shred Orient Blue is Mike Gilbert, I bet.
I've thought about the same thing.
There's so many riffs in that song that I'm like, that could be translated into metal, no doubt.
Oh yeah, he does like
Orient Blue.
too.
Anybody
He
who's listening to this,
does like
check that out.
Yeah,
There's like
yeah.
7 riffs in that song that could be metal riffs.
We'll fucking do it, dude. Let's do it.
Al Di Meola
Give me the
is
vocals.
like,
Al Di Meola is a
badass.
silent killer, guys. If you guys, or I shouldn't say silent because he's way loud in his realm. But if you're a metal guy and you want to branch out, Al Di Meola is a brilliant and great artist to dive into.
Oh yeah,
yes.
big Al Di Meola fans here.
All right.
All right,
Moving on.
should we start the wrap up?
Let's
no,
do it.
No.
Or we can hang. I'm here for.
Oh,
I'm at Gilbert's house, dude. I can do this as long
Alex,
as we
Alex,
can.
what you got? What would you? Is there anything else you'd like to talk about? Like
Yeah,
music?
talk to us about anything.
Yeah.
Whatever, man. Yeah, I don't have a job right now. I have nothing to do.
Let's talk more, dude. So,
Okay.
what you got? What's something interesting? What do you guys want to talk about? Have we gone over all the things?
No, there's so many things in the world that we have not.
Continue going over the things we haven't gone over then, because
okay,
Give me some
Anthony,
hip hop again. I gotta get.
I'm gonna go eat soup. I'll be right back.
Okay, well let's keep it like music
All
and
right, fine,
guitar
all right,
related.
fine,
Let's like
all
keep
right,
it, yes, because it's like relevant. So, so with like Arkaik, okay, so like how are you thinking differently like in your writing processes, like writing Arkaik stuff? Like is that like totally just natural, like your thing, or is like writing Atheist? Do you think like from that angle, like okay, I'm writing Atheist stuff? Like of course, I mean, to a degree, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And what's the difference? Like, what do you feel is the difference in writing for those two types of projects?
Yeah. I mean, they're both inspired by learning their past stuff, like before I joined. So if I'm writing for Arkaik, I'm going like real heavy on just kind of percussive guitar playing, like tons of heavy palm muting and certain just chords that they use a lot, like from their previous stuff. And rhythmically, the same sort of thing, just really tight, having like the drums kind of syncopated with whatever the guitars are doing. Like I said, I just started writing their Atheist stuff, so I'm kind of tuning in more to, I don't know how I'd put it, not being so obsessed with like writing crazy, really fast trim pick stuff, but more just like cool riffs, thrashy influenced. Not trying to go insane with like weird chord shapes, just more simple harmony, but still make it like quirky and kind of complex in its own way. But yeah, it's both. They're both. I mean, they were both bands before I had anything to do with them, So I'm like influenced by the bands themselves when I'm writing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's tight, dude. Okay.
Yeah, because I don't want to just come in and, obviously I want to put my own stamp on things, but I don't want to write like I'm writing for Dessiderium when I'm writing for like a band that's been around for a long time.
Oh, look who just popped on. Oh, shit. We got Warbreaker David, who opened the show for Atheist and Cynic.
Oh, sick. Hell yeah.
Our friend David, we were talking about earlier. What up, David? How's it going? How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, that was a fun one.
Yeah. So, and then David, we talked earlier about that time or the moment at that show when we kind of walked out back and we met Alex and we were talking about like, I was helping you get the stuff off stage. We're putting it outside to load it out and stuff. And we're talking to Alex. There's the three of us. Yeah. So, what's up, David? How's it going, buddy? All right. So we got Joseph.
I remember that was like a very busy show, and chatting with you guys kind of put me at ease. So that was nice.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Totally.
Guys, I might have to go hang out with the wife. So
it's all good, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
No worries. Do your thing.
We missed,
Do your thing.
Banana
No worries.
Sign up early.
Anthony and I can take it from here. Joseph, we love you. You're the man.
Yeah, Joseph, fun hanging, dude.
Everybody
Thanks,
go
man.
listen to Dreamer. You haven't heard it yet.
Yeah, do it.
How can people hear Dreamer just if they want to go,
It's a
make
good
their
question.
dreams come true? How do they do it?
Bandcamp, Dreamer Metal. There's a lot of bands with the name Dreamer, so
Yeah,
or I don't know if they're bands or just
all back
DJs
to
or
the
whatever.
John Zorn project called Dreamer.
But we're working on becoming the premier Dreamer music project so that we'll be at the top of that algorithm. But it might take a while. But yeah, just Dreamer metal usually gets the job
Zorn
done.
doesn't give his shit away for free, so you don't have to compete with him on Spotify or
That's
Amazon
true.
or.
But there are a lot of people we do have to compete with. So
yeah,
I don't know who they are, but we'll issue cease and desists once we're huge or whatever. But
there you go.
Yeah. But yeah, just Dreamer metal usually works. Spotify is tricky, but Bandcamp works. And then we pretty much have like the first record and second record demoed. So just hit us up for links if you want to hear some preview shit. And then yeah, I'll be playing with them Friday. So let me pull that up once again real fast. With Callius, Cyborg Octopus, and the Arson Choir. And the Callius record that's dropping is really sick. And then Cyborg Octopus are just ultra homies, very fucking cool band. And yeah, have a good time, guys.
Flyer.
Yeah, dude.
Awesome, brother.
Good night.
All right, cheers.
Yes, sir. Cheers.
Cool.
Right on.
Let's keep it going, dude, because
And there were 3. Yeah.
Why not? Yes. We're on the West Coast, all right. So
yeah.
Oh, oops, sorry. Clicked the wrong button. My bad. Sorry. We're back. Okay. Yes. All right, Anthony.
Yeah, dude. So Alex, where are you at currently? We've probably already asked you that in a bunch of different ways, but like right now, creatively, I know you're working with Atheist and Arkaik and stuff, but I also want to know like where you are individually. Like,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I
if
where am I like influence wise?
Where you've worked yourself thin, like that's all good too, dude. Like,
I'm not
where you're at currently.
I'm not even gonna lie, man. I've like the last few years I've been teaching music, and I've mainly relied on teaching at like stores, you know. But in my experience, every time I like go on one tour, they're cool with that, and then when I go on 2 tours, they're not cool with it.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of at a weird transition point right now where I'm trying to just figure out.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. So I'm thinking about opening up myself for like taking on new students. Also trying to learn my ultimate goal one day would be to like work with audio in like some sort of media. If it were my choice, it'd be video games. So I just enrolled in a course where like we're going to learn stuff pertaining to that. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit kind of in the middle of the ocean, just trying to navigate, you know.
Yeah,
because I can write music all day, but you also have to find a way to support yourself, and that's what I'm trying to figure out right now.
You said, you need something to look forward, or look like you need a goal in order to create, and that totally is acceptable. Obviously, like no matter what, like things being made, they're made, so it doesn't matter how they're made. Like you were saying, I need something to push towards. That's literally like your way. That is Alex's way to bring things into reality. You know what I'm saying? So
I got it.
I know I'm drunk as shit, and
I'm not you. I'm saying I got an idea.
Oh, let's hear it.
Here it is. We need to find a way to make touring music. It wouldn't work for everybody. It wouldn't work for every single person. But we need to find a way to make like touring musicians like somehow influencers. Like it's like, okay, hey guys, I'm at the Jay and whatever the fucking truck stop. I'm in Nebraska. How's it going? Check out this bathroom. Like, hey, if I can take a shower, I just rented just like these crazy influencer, like death metal It's not gonna work. But I'm just saying it'd be really funny if like that just blew up like super crazy. Like you get like
You're so,
millions of views. Like you're just like you're just like this like like on tour influencer. It's super dumb. Yeah, it's a bad idea.
No, you get. I mean, and I think a lot of musicians do that. They try to find a way to like channel into the social media thing, and I'm personally just not down for that at all.
I know.
But I know that's like a popular route to go, being like an entertainer of some kind, or
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
so it's tricky.
I think that you could take Casey's idea and it's not even using it for social media, but just like creativity. Like you're on tour, and I'm saying like a ton. I just felt that. But you're on tour and you're hungry to be creative during this time where you're so stuck to the script, but this is the one time where you can create something, even if it's one riff with a random musician that you wouldn't have normally stopping by San Diego and coming up with something with Casey would be pretty fucking sick while you're on tour, where it sparked an idea that you didn't have up to that point,
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that collaboration, I'm talking you two, it doesn't have to be you two, I'm just saying any two hungry, like-minded musicians come together on these tours and spark ideas with each other. I think that I think that I don't know, is that what you're touching on, Casey?
No, I mean, like, I'm just trying to like think of ways to make money on tour. And I know Jared was talking about this because he works in I heard he works in marketing. I don't know if that's even true, but whatever.
Yeah, like digital marketing. Yeah.
Sweet. So like I mean, like basically trying to have like some kind of at least like, oh my god, my mic is just getting limp on me here. Sorry. But like just not even like making like a bunch of money, but having like some kind of job that like you can just do on the road, like during those like long drives and that kind of stuff, and like be able to like keep it going. It's like instead of like switching off driving and everyone's like, no, it's just like get a driver, or like at least have like not necessarily in a bus, but like like someone in the band who sells merch and they do all the driving or something like that, or like some kind of like or tech or drum tech or something.
Yeah, man.
And just be able to like, okay, we have like Wi-Fi somehow, like whatever, like hotspots or whatever the situation is. You got some kind of Wi-Fi type thing, and you can all just have like jobs where you can like during the drives, like during the day, because you're not doing shit, you're just driving for so long.
Yeah.
And it sucks working in a van, but
it does probably suck big time. But yeah, I've always been jealous of like when I see dudes like they have remote jobs and they're working on tour, and it probably does suck. Like I'm not trying to, it's probably really tough, but it's also really cool that they have a job that they can do and tour at the same time.
So maybe like that, because touring doesn't obviously pay very much if it it depends on the band, but
yeah, no, it doesn't doesn't pay
these head tats. So it's just like like I mean, but at least making it like affordable to where you're not just like on tour just eating it super hard, like you can't even pay your rent, or, it's like at least you can like have like something, like you're not making six figures doing it, but like just whatever, just something you can just have like some kind of supplement there. I don't know.
Right.
Totally.
Right.
And like you have so many hours of downtime. You're just sitting
That's
there.
The thing. It's like, it's gotta be tough working, but at the same time, if you're not, it's like, what are you doing?
Like, what are you doing?
Or walking around
for 6 hours on the drive or 8?
Yeah. Because you're not doing anything real till you play. So it's just a weird.
Even if you're just doing like just kind of some kind of like, even like tech support or some kind of shit. We're just answering calls. Oh yeah, I understand. That's really frustrating. Like,
Yeah.
So like, why don't you try restarting your computer? Like, like something like just
IT crap.
anything. Yeah, or just like anything you can do, like on the road, so you just like so you can like at least afford to tour. And then if the band blows up, that's great. But
yeah. That
Just
is the tricky part.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, guys.
Because when we
I
toured,
think
dude,
that-
we did nothing, man.
and we
Yeah.
I've hit a point where I'm like, oh shit, I gotta fucking work tomorrow.
Okay.
God,
Oh,
that's
no. Fading.
all the things, all the episodes that we've done. I still am like, God, I gotta work tomorrow. Thursday nights
Yeah.
are our thing, but we're gonna still keep doing them for you guys because it no matter what.
Yeah.
You got some Cali Death podcast in the morning on Friday night, dude. Or
Hell yeah.
Friday night. Yeah, I'm talking too drunk now. I'm sorry.
I think we should keep going. I think this is awesome.
No, I
Well, Anthony,
definitely
some
I'm
of us in there, like,
probably the
hour.
drunkest I've been in a very long time.
Oh, that's amazing, dude. No, I drove to
Yeah.
LA this morning and back, and I had a crazy day. It was great. But yeah, it was
Mike
like a 12-hour
handed me
mission before.
whiskey, and now I'm like, oh fuck, dude.
Dude,
The
it's
effect I
great.
have.
It's been fine. It's been awesome.
No, I
It's been
know.
fun.
I know it's been
It's cool.
fine. I know I haven't been a dick about it, but I'm just drunk now. All right. I love you guys so much, though. I love
Shit, dudes,
everybody
yeah.
who is involved in this. I love everybody who's in the chat right now. You guys are rad as shit, hanging out with us every Thursday night. I saw some regular names in there. I saw some new names in there. That's what's up.
All
And
right. Yes.
Casey, I'm glad you made it.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Oh my goodness, yes.
I gotta do the outro video. We're gonna cut it.
I know. I'm not ready for
It's
any
all right.
of this intro. You might as well just do that because I don't plug it all, dude. We got the fucking. Are we ready to plug?
Sure, let's plug it, dude. Plug away. Let's plug.
BattleForgeCoffee.com. Boom.
Yes.
I did that one. That is correct.
What's that about?
Cali
Never
Death
heard of
Podcast.
that.
Cali Death Podcast.bigcartel.com.
Mm.
I just spit that one out too. That's where you get a shirt from us. I don't remember anything else. Did we? Oh wait, GeneratorRehearsalStudios.com.
Yes, you
Come
can
on, Generator Rehearsal. I said it the right way the first time. Don't. All right, I love you guys.
It's been a while since we've had one
it's
of these.
Anthony Drunk Alert for sure, dude.
Tell us-
The whiskey is what did me in, dude.
Tell us about the whiskey. What
is
kind of
did me
whiskey did you
in.
guys drink? I want to know. Where's Mike, by the way? Where is he? Go grab him. Mike, let's talk about
I just heard bullet. So that means that
bullet.
Mike's
Yeah, bullet
still
bourbon.
watching
Yeah.
in his bed right now. The rest of the house is shut down.
Oh, he's going to bed. Okay.
No, I'm going to bed right after this, dude. As soon as we're done, I'm going.
It's getting late. Yeah.
Dude. Yeah, I'm a spectacle right now. But Alex, this was a really good time, dude. I had a great time tonight.
Dude, thanks.
I really did.
Thanks again for having me, man.
Truly.
No, me too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
It was a fun time.
And you're always welcome back on, and I can't wait to see you again in person. I'm sure I'm going to see you the next Atheist show.
Yeah. No, we'll be out.
You know, I'll be there, dude. I can't miss. Anytime I see Atheists coming into town, there's no excuse. Like, cancel your vacation. You're watching Atheist.
Cancel your vacation. That's Anthony's advice.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Good advice.
I won't cancel it for Slayer, but I'll cancel it for Atheist.
Love
What
that.
up?
Thank
All right. That's just a thing for me because I always miss Slayer every time they come into town.
Oh,
But yeah, dude. Check out, dude, Alex, like I said, dude, the boundaries that you can touch with your fingers right now, you're touching both sides of this shit, dude. You're within the whole bubble of this whole thing, and it's you that is keeping this shit alive, because live music is really where people make their full connection. And you being able to be on stage with Atheist and showing the modern live audience what Atheist is, and just, yeah, them feeling the whole encompassing thing, you're making that happen, dude, and that's why I'm excited about you, bro.
Thank you, man. Thanks so much. Yeah.
And
Thankful.
people speak truth when they're drunk, dude, so I'm being truthful with you. Like,
I appreciate that.
I really feel that with the type of musician that you are, being how young you are, this is exactly why the live environment gets to experience these pioneers
Yeah.
of music, of metal music, you know.
Mhm.
And yeah, that's really where I'm leaving it, is just thank you for being a player that can bring this to the generations that weren't able to experience it when it was, you know,
Oh, I feel the
more
same, man.
prevalent
Yeah.
than it is now.
Yeah, of course. That's how I feel too, even just playing the stuff, because I never thought I'd get to see it live, So
Yeah,
special.
and that's exactly what I would want you to say as somebody who is a part of that. Like, you're trying to show, you're giving an opportunity to a live audience that is somebody like you that could have not experienced it, but you're still giving them an opportunity to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, dude. And that is through lots of whiskey. What I just said probably sounds like fucking shit. But that doesn't matter, because I still do this shit every single week, and it doesn't fucking matter. It's still recorded and put on the internet every single week. And
respect the realness. Yeah.
but that's really how I feel, dude. And I love it. And I'm glad I got to talk to you tonight, dude.
It's mutual, man. Thank you for having me.
And I'm glad that Casey showed up, made it. Boom. All right.
Oh yeah.
I did the plugs. I already did them. Alex, you got a plug away on your side though.
Yeah. Hit me up if you guys want guitar lessons, because I am down to take some new students on over Zoom. Other than that, yeah, I got the new Dessiderium album probably coming out next year, and then a new Atheist and Arkaik, both on the way too.
Boom.
Nice.
Love it, dude. I'm very excited about that.
It's
and
hopefully,
cool, guys. Well, this is super fun, and as always, we will be here next week. We're very close to the 3-year anniversary, guys. That's crazy.
That's awesome.
Have 0 things planned for it, but we're gonna do it. All right. Love you guys. Have a great weekend. Enjoy every single second of it, because I will be. Rock on. Eat a banana. See you next week.
Okay, goodbye.